did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
What?
That's it. Soy Pill and Pisco, both Josiah, Hutch, and IRI stand true, and they're like, good question. But you get the absolute craziness from Pisco and Soy Pill.
I don't. Do you like follow like Hassan?
I have no
Drama?
idea what that.
Okay,
This is crazy. This is insane, man. I don't know anything about Hassan shocking his dog. I have no idea. But having a tweet in 2025 saying he didn't shock his dog, it's disgusting.
Then
Keith,
Donald Trump.
did you vote for Kamala in 2024?
Yeah.
I don't believe him. Okay, Keith is a DSA member. This guy?
Correct? You identify as a liberal? Are you a socialist? Like, how do you?
Yeah,
label?
liberal. Yeah.
Liberal. So,
Yeah.
are you afraid that as a liberal joining DSA that you could open the door for some of the more extremist stuff by legitimizing them?
No.
No. I mean, I don't. What do you mean?
So you've heard
Legitimizing
some of
them?
their
Aren't they already
national.
legitimized.
No. But I think the concern is that we're kind of sane washing some of the more extreme stuff while you're not hearing that from the people on the ground at the meetings you're going to. But people are concerned that it's a Trojan horse to bring in this group and this ideology that undermines capitalism and liberalism. Does that concern you at all, joining a local chapter?
No, I mean, I think I personally think I think capitalism. I think capitalism deserves to be undermined. I don't think it is serving us
You look sleepy? I
as
just
best
woke
it
up.
could right now. We used to regulate. We used to regulate
You can
things.
regulate things out of
I like to get into regulation again. So
Everyone's problem right now, if they're not recorded, is literally that Congress has abdicated their duty to a president. That's fucking it. And they've abdicated their duties for the last, like, 2 Trump terms. I think might have even, like, not worked during Biden.
so yes, I think that like what
You trying to get it,
this
Mooks?
Wick guy is very
Well,
dramatic.
Keith, are you basking on right now? Like, can you just
Yes.
tell us what your
Hold
real
on, I'll just
position
ask you. I got a question.
all of it
Keith,
right now.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
What?
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
What? Let him cook. Wait, who all said what?
Like, can you just
He
tell
is.
us what your
Hold
real
on, I'll just
position
ask you. I got a question.
all of it
Keith,
right now.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
What?
That's it. Soy Pill and Pisco.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
That's how you can tell. Oh my God, Dan's right. Both Josiah, Hutch, and IRI stand true, and they're like, good question. Even Leftist Blondie looks fine, but you get the absolute craziness from Pisco and Soy Pill.
He says he didn't. No.
He says he didn't.
What are
Okay.
we doing here?
Anyway,
What are we doing here? What do you think we're doing here, you f***ing?
I just need. That's all I needed.
I don't know
Okay,
if
guys,
Keith,
I gotta
Keith
go.
traffic
I
in
love
that.
you all.
Keith, I don't. Do you like follow like Hassan?
I have no idea
Drama?
what that.
Okay,
I don't know.
Wow. I have no idea. How is it so hard to find his YouTube when he's boasting he has 1.3 million followers? Jesus, he actually gets some views. Oh, it's all Trump bad. Classic. I might be becoming a Republican. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on.
Wick, ask him a different question.
No, this will
because-
not be the new
Because-
normal time. I can tell the Discord, but this will not be the new normal time.
Do you think
He
Hassan
failed. He failed.
Piker
The answer
is
is yes.
Do you think Hassan Piker is a threat to the Democratic Party?
No.
Okay. Yep, that's all I needed. Okay. I'll see you guys later. I love you.
Bye, Wick.
So, how bad faith in my argument was Pisco being last night? Because that's gonna determine if I go crazy today. Because if this retard was nice to me on stream, and then as soon as he got off, made his YouTube video thumbnailed clickbait, which is fine. I don't mind that. But now if he's going on Live and Learn and like bastardizing my argument because he's too retarded to understand it, that's gonna piss me off. Yeah, I saw his YouTube title and I was whatever. I don't care. I'm in the DSA. DSA did not endorse Plattner. It's kind of crazy how these next generation candidates who are rock stars and established dabs are doing everything they can to kill the momentum. I mean, it's over. It's done. It's GG. Sure, but the extra 10% will make him want to genocide capitalists. You said you would vote for the Republican in the Wisconsin race. Sure, I did say that, but that's because I'm not going to do the thing that every other does where they just hide behind like, oh, well, I wouldn't vote. I think that you should vote no matter what. So if you pressed me at the time of who should I vote for, sure, I'll vote for the Republican. Sure. I don't care. I hate the DSA. They are literally trying to kill the Democratic Party and then bring in like tanky socialism, communism type.
You said something interesting. If I heard you correctly, you said the Democratic Party's not worth saving. Did you say
I heard that too, yeah.
I did, yeah.
The Reddit is banning people with my take. Proof?
I think we need to fundamentally remake the Democratic Party's leaders. And
Why?
we need to
Why do you... But see, I think this drags down the Democratic Party because we have people from the right hitting us, calling us communists and godless heathens, and then we have people on the left attacking us as well and going after Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. This is the party that brought the enhanced ACA subsidies to give people affordable health insurance for 12
It is not a
million
person.
people.
And I think right now the idea of the Democratic Party fundamentally needs to change.
I don't. Do you like follow like Hassan?
I have no
Drama?
idea what that.
Okay,
This is crazy. This is insane, man.
Wick, ask him a different question because
Sure.
that's
Do you
a
think,
bit more
do you think
niche.
Hassan Piker
The answer
is
is yes.
Do you think Hassan Piker is a threat to the Democratic?
I don't know anything about Hassan chucking his dog. I have no idea. But having a tweet in 2025 saying he didn't chuck his dog, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And you won't hear Pisco or Soy Pill call him out on it because that's the whole thing. Like, I could have sat on here with Pisco and just lied and been like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't know who I'd vote for. I got to go look into all of their policies. But like, I knew. So I'm just going to be honest with him.
No. But I think the concern is that we're kind of sane washing some of the more extreme stuff while you're not hearing that from the people on the ground at the meetings you're going to. But people are concerned that it's a Trojan horse to bring in this group and this ideology that undermines capitalism and
I'm talking about the dog chugging.
liberalism. Does that concern you at all, joining a local chapter?
No, I mean, I think I personally think capitalism. I think capitalism deserves to be undermined. I don't think it is serving us as best it could right now. We used to regulate. We used to regulate things. I think we are.
Do you just mean regulation?
Yes, regulation, but that is literally yes,
Yeah.
but that's yes, but we don't even do that anymore. But I do think when it comes to like certain companies, I don't think those companies should exist as
Why do they all say certain? Why not give it like an example?
as free market. So, like
Okay,
I don't think there's a
that's
free
more of
market
the strain.
solution.
Oh my god, Pisco's like the retard whisperer. He just comes in to like explain their argument in a masked-on way.
When you say we need to undermine capitalism, what people will hear, at least on this panel, is like undermine the ownership structure and the power structure.
Well, I
related to
think
capitalism.
for some things we should like. I don't understand why there's oil companies. Why?
Are you asking me?
No, I just don't. I don't like. I think for some goods, for some like.
Sorry, it's nice to take a pause every once in a while and look at the facial expressions. Hutch, it's pogging out. IRI's like, this guy's good. Soy Pill, he's got a slight smile on his face. Maybe he's like, this guy's kind of cooking. Why do we need oil companies? And Josiah,
Products.
oh, he's giving up, dude. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's dooming out.
And maybe I'm like a little. But
he's like, I'm gonna become Hudge. No.
just to understand, like oil, kind of. I feel like it's the Earth's. It belongs to everyone, you know. And so I don't understand why there's
Things
certain
that belong to
companies-
Earth should not be companies. Like,
Well,
Wow. Things that belong to Earth belong to everyone. That's awesome, dude. We gotta keep inviting on. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Hold on. Sorry, I strawman. There was a schizo spamming it. I checked their Reddit, and it wasn't your take. It was that they would vote Republican over El Sayed, which wouldn't because it's Senate. Oh, absolutely, I would not vote for a Republican over El Sayed. No shot. I'm honestly willing to hear arguments about Wisconsin. Again, she has to earn my vote. Shrimple as. Live and Learn was insufferable last night. My goal is to get Steve to watch it with me today. And I'm gonna see if he can get me on camera, because I'd like to farm some YouTube videos with my ninja.
Yeah, you said you could only be here for 20 minutes, so weigh in on this. We're curious.
What is the topic at hand? I was gonna yell that in your chat, Hutch. So I'm
DSA.
grateful to be.
Can someone give me the pass in chat? Can I just get the pass, man? Just hand it over. Give it to me or else. I can give it. Give it to me now, then. Thank you. You got mine
right now.
Thank you.
The
Finally.
DSA a bigger threat than MAGA?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's broader discourse about the concept of blue no matter who, and Wick is taking the
Where
position.
should our lines be?
Yeah,
Where should our lines be?
How far will they push this? Well, I think Steve and I will eventually push each other back to our normal schedules. WCAT. This is business.
Is it blue no
Well,
matter
here's the
who?
thing. Here's what I don't like is I think like there's a lot of personalities on Twitter.
I'm 2% black. All right, good.
I really try not to do it. I think attacking the factions with.
I will say, Keith, his background and his lighting. Come on now. He's actually background mogging everyone except for Josiah. He's got a good setup. Josiah's got a good setup. The only other one that I like is IRI.
In the left does not help anyone. And I think like one of the things that MAGA has done for better or for worse is they're kind of, I mean, we're seeing it splinter now, but they're pretty cohesive. And I think like when it comes to most things, I think everyone on this live stream probably agrees on most of the big things, right? And so it's like that small 5%, it just doesn't feel like we're all on the same team. Maybe that sounds
You like the Pisco jail cell? Maybe he's bunkmates with Fetterman.
like really like naive or something. But I think like we're all trying to like work towards in the same direction.
Well,
And we might have-
let me push back. I don't think the DSA has the same end goals as liberals and progressives. They want to go far further than that. They want to end capitalism.
I think they
right?
have an extreme endpoint, but I do think the DSA does want to get to the same. We are all going in the same direction. I think they have a more extreme end
I
than
disagree.
say like liberalism, but I don't.
God, YouTube video makers are just so f***ing coddled by the way that they do their content. They actually never have to do any like live conversations, and instead they can just like make scripts to not sound like retards. But 8 out of 10 times, if you pull a YouTube content creator into a voice chat, they're retarded.
But I don't think they are totally different. I don't think they're like.
I mean, they literally
Hugely
say we're not
different.
Democrats. We're using the Democrats, and like, don't get me wrong. Just to push back on this, Keith, I am totally for criticizing these people. The people that say you can't punch left, I think, are very, very stupid. They just don't want the heat. I think Wick is totally fine to call these people out. My issue with Wick is that he says, well, to beat them, we need to let MAGA win.
Vote for
I'm fine
Tom
with
Tiffany in
criticizing these people,
Wisconsin.
primarying these people. Look at what happened with Cory Bush, with Jamal Bowman. If you don't like
Mark my words. When Kyle Kalinske in 2028 says to not vote for or doesn't emphatically endorse, you're not gonna hear this dickweed ever talk about him. All he'll say is, what do you want me to say? Yeah, that's bad. What do you want me to say? They're not gonna have a whole live and learn panel about me. They're not gonna make 3 YouTube videos about it. Mark my goddamn words.
these people,
They'll just say, yeah, that's bad.
once they get the power, this is the time where we say, well, no, this is bad. You're passing bad policy. Let's get
But
rid
I
of these
just think
people.
there's like not this like inherent evil with some people on the left just because they see things a little differently than you do.
Well,
That's
no,
all.
that's not why. It's not because they see things differently, right? It's because they want to do things that I think that would fundamentally
kick chat,
destroy
idiot.
our party and destroy America. And they hang out and are boosted by people.
How many
that I do
DSA
find-
members are there? Aren't there like only like 100,000
120.
or something?
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
like,
take much.
but come on,
Like,
you're
here's
really
the
worried
thing.
e-
about 100,000 people are
What is this retarded argument, dude?
going to destroy
But
the
there's-
country?
There are polls
Like,
showing
it just
that,
feels like,
a third.
again, it just feels like misplaced.
I think it's more about their oversized impact on the discourse. So it's true that very few people in this country identify as like an authoritarian leftist or like an actual Marxist, or could even like define what those words mean.
But DSA is not made up with people who think they're Marxists or.
Oh no. Wait, hang on.
No, but no, I'm saying there
We
are
gotta bring
people
out the
in
flow chart.
DSA.
Like
There are
16
people in
different
DSA
factions.
who think they are Marxists. Yes, who believe.
No, that's the whole. But no, that's the whole org. That's the entire
Like,
organization.
do you believe in everything in the Democratic Party?
No, I don't. But I'm saying like the
Okay, well, then
organization
there's a lot of
DSA
people in the
are.
DSA who also
No.
do not agree with like that. Like what do they put like those things that they believe in? I don't know what the.
Have you read
Abolish
their-
prisons
wait,
and,
wait, wait,
and everything.
hold on.
Yeah. That's
Have
just
you read
nuts.
their-
I was at a
have you read their
DSA meeting
platform?
3 weeks ago, and they were like, a majority of the people who were there were like, yeah, that's insane. The thing is like, there's a discrepancy. There's like there is.
It actually really bothers me how coddled these YouTubers are by their scripts. Because this guy sounds like a card.
There's internal debates too, of like where the DSA wants to head, and there's a huge difference between the national DSA versus local chapters.
Well,
And I think that's something. That's
listen, I take your point. You can have chapters that are maybe more moderate than others, but if I go to the DSA platform,
How does no one understand that, like, you have the national DSA is like that's like your daddy. That is your daddy. It is. Just end of the day. It goes to the top.
first thing at the very top here asks, imagine taking a day off from work in a future without capitalism. That's the very first thing that they mentioned on their website. And so, you can say that you went to a meeting and there were people that were more chill, but the organization is like very definitionally.
I understand. And I
explicitly
think
anti-capitalist, anti-liberal.
yes, I think the people at the top of the DSA, but I think there's also like this fight within the DSA to decide in what direction.
No one
it goes
hates
to.
DSA more than the internal members. All they do is fight. But first of all, guys, if anyone called me a sweeper before, I think you can say I'm strictly to the right of Keith on the defense here. This is very clearly like, all right, like they want very different things than the current Democratic Party. They want to use the Democratic Party to achieve those things. I think you're downplaying the severity of how bad it could get. I'm just
Okay.
saying MAG is worse right now.
Thank you,
Yeah, but
Soy.
it's like
Also,
you're,
if
you're
you're
a Democratic
Thank
Party
you,
member,
Mr.
you
Pill.
vote on the Democratic Party platform.
No, but if it was so disanalogous to what you believed, like, would you call
You
yourself a
wouldn't be- you
Democrat, or would you
wouldn't be a
say, hey,
DSA
I'm an
member.
independent and I don't really agree with most of this, but I'm going to vote as a Democrat, right? Like, you wouldn't be a member, a paying member of an organization that was that antithetical to what you truly believed, right?
I also
mean,
think it's
yeah, you would.
it's
I
a
think
bit,
you would.
it's a
Why
bit of
not?
a cop out to say. Sorry, Keith. I'll just be real quick. It's a bit of a cop out to say. I'm not attacking you on this, Keith, but some of these DSA people are. They're like, I'm not associated with the national. I'm with the local. Well, Hong did that from Wisconsin. I looked up her Madison branch, and sure enough, there's a working group to abolish prisons in there.
That's what they always are trying to do now. They're trying to like somehow be like, oh, well, I'm just with the local DSA. It's like, well, but you guys all believe in the same funky shit, man.
When she said she doesn't support that, so I feel like the local groups are pretty much in line with the national too.
I mean, that's just hasn't been my experience, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could paint with a broad brush.
Well, I
guess,
think,
but-
I think there would be like unfairly mischaracterizing a group, and then there's taking
Okay, guys. The National Socialist Party, they kind of believe in some crazy shit. But my local Nazi chapter, me and my guys, we're chill. We're cool. We don't believe in all that funky shit, man. Come on. Don't paint me with a broad brush, dude.
their national platform. I think like the Democratic Party national platform similarly defines the party when those things are relevant every 4 years. And I just don't understand this idea that we
give this
wouldn't.
grace to MAGA. Like if someone was like, well,
My local Ku Klux Klan chapter, we're actually really chill. Like we don't lynch black people at all. We don't do that. We just run them out of town.
I don't vote with Trump on everything, and there's some things I disagree with MAGA brand, but 80% of the time, 75% of the time, they identify as MAGA. We wouldn't grant them this grace. Why are we doing it for these guys?
I think with peace and love in my heart, I feel like Keith, you're sane washing a little bit. There's this concept in
With peace and love in my heart. They have to be so gentle. Dude, it's crazy. They put on the kid gloves for these DSA members, and yet when they talk to any Democrat, you get thumbnails made of you. God, hold on, let me find it. Thumbnails and titles like this. I beg Democratic influencer not to vote for MAGA Republican. Cinema. Yet when Hutch talks to this guy, it's like, Keith, with peace and love, man, in my heart. With peace and love, dude.
those circles of entryism where these groups will deliberately infiltrate, parties like the Democratic Party. And then they run on populist, broadly like popular economic policies like, rent control or lower taxes for middle income and low income people and subsidized healthcare. But the whole point is to sort of like hollow out the institution and rebuild it in their image, or do what they call like a dirty break where they get enough support.
Are you a
I'm genuinely floored that, and I'm not trying, this is not me snarking. This is not me being mean. It's just I'm genuinely floored that Pisco has never heard the term dirty break. That's crazy to me.
DSA member? Keith?
I'm a DSA member. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
So do you,
Okay.
Keith, do you support those things we've talked about, like abolishing
No.
prison?
No, I don't.
So why did you
No.
join DSA then?
Because
What made you join?
It's not. Well, first off, I think if you've ever been a part of a political group, they're more aligned with what I believe and the actions that they take than like the local
why?
Democratic club that I used to be a member of.
Why?
Yeah,
So
what
there's that
do they
stuff.
though? What do they stand for that you think makes you want to align with them more than a Democrat?
Well, I like that they're actually action oriented and they're trying to do things locally.
Have I seen the comments on the video? I mean, I'm sure that they're very pro DSA, very mean to me, but that is the audience that Pisco has. Like, what do you want me to say?
Within like New York or Florida, and they actually seem to be doing things that are changing politics for the better. In my opinion, we have Zoran Mamdani, who, if not for the DSA, AOC, if not for the DSA, wouldn't be political figures. It was really funny to me that the establishment is so upset with
Why is it so fast now?
the DSA when they're actually helping create better politicians that actually are helping the Democratic brand.
Well, how do you swear that with like J.D. Pritzker, for example, who's been really aggressive on super progressive policy? How do you swear that with Abigail Spanberger, who signed nearly 1,000 bills into law in her first 90 days? I mean, you say like DSA are the ones that are action oriented, but I just never hear Keith about politicians like Shapiro, who has like God-tier net.
No, I'm saying like Amazon is fighting a bill that's going through the city council in New York that would make it so that delivery drivers who do the last mile here in New York City have to actually be Amazon employees right now, they're contractors. And so they've been taking a lot of actions around that to help push that through the process of the city council.
Is
That's
it-
what I
Sure,
mean.
but that's not
I
exclusive
don't
of
feel
the
that
DSA.
that's a I don't
What's
feel
that?
like that's a DSA
That's not a
thing.
DSA
That
exclusive.
is the
Like,
DSA. No, the
Democrats fight
DSA
for
is
stuff
like
that.
they find specific things like that that help workers, like bills like that, and they try.
I might even be coming around to like, this is a total just misstep by the Democratic Party of like that these feel like they have to join the DSA for their voices to be heard. I don't know. I have no idea. The DNC specifically needs to message better.
To make sure that they are putting pressure on the politicians to get it passed, and also making people aware that Amazon and other companies
You
are
don't
trying
think
to fight
Democrats
it.
do this?
Well, Keith, to bridge the gap
No.
here, I think.
No, I don't think.
Democrats-
But
hold
that's
on.
the thing. It's
Whoa,
like it's
whoa,
an
whoa,
act.
You don't think
it's
Democrats
more-
have stood up for the working class again and again and again with bill after bill after bill?
No, I'm saying that
Sanders is a pretty
Democrats
good
aren't
example.
organized like that on the local level. That's what I mean. And as I'm saying, I mean, I know you all want to be like DSA is a little. I'm not a Marxist. I'm like, I consider myself to be like a social.
Like what? Messaging? Yeah. Like they need to have 5 clear platforms that you can go and tell people that why you're a Democrat. It's ridiculous that like they don't have that. And the ones that they do have are shrimple ass. All right, where's this whole video? I don't know. I might need to make a show with Steve. We'll call it like Learn to Lib. Because I don't know if Live and Learn is hitting it. When does Keith come on? That's what I want to watch. I want to watch my guy.
Have like sensible Democrats that are in positions of leadership that have platforms and influence
Live,
to
laugh,
do exactly
love.
that. To just say like, listen,
Look, I hope
the voters
hope
made their
I'm wrong.
decision
Get
in
Wick
Wisconsin.
in. I
that
would get
obviously-
Wick. I'd get Steve. I don't want to. What's the word? Like eat, live, and learn. So let me just think of people that aren't IRI and Hutch. Wick, Steve, me. Who else is living out? The coffee just hit my stomach, man. Ryan. Ooh, what? Is Ryan a lib? I would say so. Anytime, like, Ryan would be interesting on the platform. I'm thinking, what about Biden? How about Biden? JVL would be just the absolute goat. All I want to see is an IRI JVL convo, and I might need to push Steve to get IRI to reach out to JVL.
The Democratic Party is
I
never
hope
going
I'm
to support, getting rid of borders.
Yeah,
All right,
just
am I
really
throwing
hope
in
I'm
Keith,
wrong.
guys? He's
I
here.
hope that.
Yeah.
Okay, bring him
All
on.
right. Seven people. This is the most libs
6v1.
learning we've ever had.
Yo, what up, Keith?
Hi. How are you?
I
Good,
think
buddy.
your
You?
mic-
Doing well, man.
Yeah,
Good. Mike,
double
is
check you're using the
Mike
right
using
mic.
your,
Go to settings at the bottom and then make sure it's the right mic there.
Yeah, it might be
Certified
some
little
bad
Brady
buds.
bunch here.
I'm gonna put Wick in
Yeah,
the
I think
center
that
though.
fixed it.
There we go.
Hold on,
Yeah, Josiah should be
do
on
another
top.
Mic check.
Duh.
Keith,
Test.
do another
Hello?
mic check for us.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah,
There
that's
you
fine.
go.
There
That's
you go.
better.
There
Yep.
All right, there we go. Hi.
How's it going?
Welcome
What's
to
your
Live
take
and
on
Learn.
this?
Nice to meet you.
This is a lot of men. This is a lot of men.
Many men
It's the manliest podcast there is.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
wish death upon me.
So Keith, what? Yeah, you said you could only be here for 20 minutes. So weigh in on it.
Is there for an hour and 20. Sorry.
This. We're curious.
What is the topic at hand? I was gonna yell that in your chat, Hutch. So
D-
I'm grateful to
DSA
be.
a bigger threat than MAGA right now. That's the
Is
topic.
DSA a bigger threat than MAGA?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's broader discourse about the concept of blue no matter who and Wick.
Is DSA a bigger threat than MAGA? It depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about to the nation or to the Democratic Party?
Is taking the
Where
position.
should
that-
our lines be?
yeah,
Where
yeah.
should our lines be? Is it blue no
Well,
matter
here's the
who?
thing. Here's what I don't like is that
MAGA is doing very well for the Democratic Party right now. Let them keep cooking. Let them keep cooking.
I think like there's a lot of personalities on Twitter who are doing this, and I really try not to do it. I think attacking the factions within the left does not help anyone.
Oh my god. Okay. Where's... Oh, he's retweeting Gato Fumante? Is this the Gato Fumador guy or no? Is this a different guy? It's hard for me to tell. So he says he doesn't like to attack the left, right? Oh, I heard Jadine Pirro was fired last night. I'll give him this one. He boosted the lie. Fetterman, Fetterwoman reposted. Read the Gato retweet. It's insane. Which one? He did it twice, I think. Oh, maybe it was once. In a world where liberal either means being a pill-gobbling, dead-eyed approachik, like Neera Tandon, or one of these whinging freakazoid perverts, you should just be a leftist. You can even believe in things outside of hating Hassan Piker.
And I think like one of the
This guy hates attacking to the left, by the way.
things that MAGA has done for better or for worse is they're kind of, I mean, we're seeing it splinter now, but they're pretty cohesive. And I think like when it comes to most things, I think everyone on this live stream probably agrees on most of the big things, right? And so it's like that small 5%, it just doesn't feel like we're all on the same team. Maybe that sounds like really like naive or something, but I think like we're all trying to like work towards the same direction.
Well,
And we might have-
let me push back. I don't think the DSA has the same end goals as liberals and progressives. They want to go far further than that. They want to end capitalism,
I think they
right?
have an extreme endpoint, but I do think the DSA does want to get to the same. We are all going in the same direction. I think they have a more extreme.
Hear me out. Now, I'm not going for a face look, but does he sound a bit like Nick Shirley? Re-listen to that. I'm going 10 seconds back.
I think the DSA does want to get to the same. We are all going in the same direction.
Come on
I think
now.
They have a more extreme end
I
than
disagree.
say like
Come on
liberalism,
now.
But I don't think they are totally different. I don't think they're like.
I mean, they literally
hugely
say we're not
different.
Democrats. We're using the Democrats, and like, don't get me wrong.
You mean he
just-
sounds... Yes, that's the joke, yeah.
just to push back on this, Keith, I am totally for criticizing these people. The people that say you can't punch left, I think are very, very stupid. They just don't want the heat. I think Wick is totally fine to call these people out.
Thank
My
you,
issue with
Soypil.
Wick is that he says, well, to beat them, we need to let MAGA win.
Vote for
I'm fine
Tom
with
Tiffany in
criticizing these people, primarying these people. Look at what happened with Cory Bush.
What is old man over here yelling about? Wait, why is he bringing that up?
Wick is totally fine to call these people out. My issue with Wick is that he says, well, to beat them, we need to let MAGA win.
Vote for
I'm fine
Tom
with
Tiffany in
criticizing these people, primarying these people. Look at what happened with
what is he corn? Look at him.
Cory Bush.
What's he corn popping out for? Dude, our convo ended like 3 days ago. Chill.
with Jamal Bowman? If you don't like these people, once they get the power, this is the time where we say,
Reminder, Pisco was just there in my... Well, hold on. I won't say that. I think Pisco, in our entire conversation, was just trying to, like, mine me for clips. And he got it, I guess. Because I'm not going to f around and lie. Shrimple as.
no, this is bad.
No,
You're passing bad
criticize.
policy. Let's get
But
rid
I
of these
just think
people.
there's like not this like inherent evil with some people on the left just because they see things a little differently than you do.
Well,
That's
no,
all.
that's not why. It's not because they see things differently, right? It's because they want to do things that I think that would fundamentally destroy our party and destroy America, and they hang out and are boosted by people.
How many
that I do
DSA
find-
members are
Why are you getting this feeling? Because now he is just talking about voting for Tom Tiffany in Wisconsin, and that is his entire discourse.
there? Aren't there like only like 100,000
120.
or something?
That is probably, that's why he like gives you these absurd hypotheticals, is just to get you to say something outlandish so that he can talk about it and be like, oh well, they said this. That genuinely, that is my opinion right now.
So
doesn't
like,
take
Yep.
much.
but come on,
But
you're
here's
really
the thing,
worried
Keith.
about 100,000 people are going to destroy
But
the
there's
country?
There are polls
Like,
showing
it just
that
feels
like,
like
a third.
again, this feels like misplaced.
I think it's more about their
I mean, why are we worried about the Ku Klux Klan? Like, how many of them even are there? There's only like 5,000 to 8,000 active members. Like, what the hell? Why the hell are we worried about them at all? Or you think 5,000 to 8,000 people are going to destroy the country?
oversized
Influence.
impact on the discourse. So it's true that very few people in this country identify as like an authoritarian leftist or like an actual Marxist, or could even like.
He complimented me. Hold. Let me get a glaze.
Did he
Like,
say that?
I would say vote for the Republican or don't vote.
Did Moot say that? I don't even remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
That's
listen,
'cause I'm a
listen,
Giga Chad.
I got less frustrated at that conversation. It is frustrating because there's a big delay with the internet. I don't know if it's good right now, but he was forthright, right? And he was like answering all the questions, and I thought that was like refreshing, and very good, and very cool. And I think it was a way better conversation than some of the other conversations I've had with people in like Twitter Spaces where they're just like dodging, dipping, and diving. He just bit every bullet. I mean, he had these the jaws of titanium steel, and like it was. But like that makes it a more pleasant conversation. I don't have to like be pushing that hard. And he was very forthright, and I do appreciate that.
I don't have to be pushing very hard. That means he's mining you for clips in a way. I'm not meaning this in like a bad way.
For Moon, it was a pleasant conversation, but don't bite those bullets. Those are crazy bullets.
They're not that crazy. The only crazy bullet I can argue, the only bullet that I bit that's crazy is the Hong take. That's it. Every other one of them is easy. Even Trimple.
Define what those words
But
mean.
DSA is not made up with people who think they're Marxists or.
Oh no. Wait, hang on.
No, but no, I'm saying there
We
are
gotta bring
people
out the
in
flow chart.
DSA.
Like
There are
16
people in
different
DSA
factions.
who think they are Marxists.
And just so you know, if I didn't bite the Hong bullet, there's going to be another bullet hypothetical that he would have come up with that the discourse would be about now. Just so you know.
Yes, who believe.
No, that's the whole. But no, that's the whole org. That's the entire organization.
Like, do you believe in everything in the Democratic Party?
I did not see the Thanksgiving clip.
No, I don't. But I'm saying like the
Okay, well, then
organization
there's a lot of
DSA
people in the
are.
DSA who also
No.
do not agree with like that. Like what do they put like those things that they believe in? I don't know what the.
Have you
abolish
read
prisons
Wait, wait, wait,
and
wait,
everything.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah. That
Have
shit's
you read
nuts.
their-
I was at a
have you read their
DSA meeting
platform?
3 weeks ago, and they were like, a majority of the people who were there were like, yeah, that's insane. The thing is like, there's a discrepancy. There's like there's internal debates too, of like where the DSA wants.
A majority of the people there. So that there was a minority of the people there who were like, yeah, we should abolish capitalism. That's based.
Wants to head, and there's a huge difference between the national DSA versus local chapters.
God,
Wow.
Wick is such a genius, dude. Asking, did Hassan shock his dog is just the most brilliant idea. I'm gonna steal that, and anybody who comes on the podcast, I'm asking in the future. 1,000,000,000% I'm asking. That's actually Shrimple as.
I think that
So-
that's something
I
that's
mean, I take your point. You can have chapters that are maybe more moderate than others, but if I go to the DSA platform the very first thing at the very top here asks, imagine taking a day off from work in a future without capitalism. That's the very first thing that they mentioned on their website. And so, you can say that you went to a meeting and there were people that were more chill, but the organization is like very definitionally.
I understand. And I think
anti-capitalist, anti-liberal.
Yes, I think the people at the top of the DSA, but I think there's also like this fight within the DSA to decide.
No one hates DSA more than the internal members. All they do is fight.
That's not true. I'm the #1 hater. You're simply incorrect.
But first of all, guys, if anyone called me a sweeper before, I think you can say I'm strictly to the right of Keith on the defense here. This is very clearly like, all right, like they want very different things than the current Democratic Party. They want to use the Democratic Party to achieve those things. I think you're downplaying the severity.
Hold. One more. What's your job on the leftist commune? I'm going to be leading discussions on theory some days, making clothes from scrap other days, and making lattes whenever needed. I'm reading tarot, birth charts, and transits, while providing trauma-informed supportive counseling groups and teach-ins on topics for the next generation and those sharing our information outside the community. I'd be the neighborhood herbalist who teaches anarchist theory with an intersectional lens and shares their love of breathwork and the healing transformative power of movement of dance.
Of how bad it could get. I'm just saying MAGA's worse right now.
I'm going to be the federal booby inspector.
Well, wait a minute. So this is something new because I didn't realize this. Of course, it's because I don't obsess over it. But the DSA platform was not voted on by its 100,000 members. Is that correct? It was approved.
No, they have they have a convention and they have
there's a convention
and they vote on the platform. So
can they kick you out as a DSA member? What if all of DGG joined and we started to fix the DSA? Wait, can we take the DSA back? Hold on now. They would not let us in, guaranteed.
Democratized within the institute.
No, there's a vote. I don't know how the whole process works, but it's not like every member is voting on the platform.
Yeah, but
and also, if you're a Democratic Party member, did you vote on the Democratic Party platform?
No, but if it was so disanalogous to what you believed, would you call yourself a Democrat, or would you say, "Hey, I'm an independent and I don't really agree with most of this, but I'm going to vote as a Democrat"? Right? Like you wouldn't be a paying member of an organization that was that antithetical to what you truly believed, right?
Israel. Getting the hell out of Israel. Let's move them to Australia. We gotta get. Why would you want to live in a place? It's just like a civilization match. I'm not choosing a spawn point where I have 10 enemies sworn to a death, a death pact around me, man. We gotta move these. We gotta help them.
I also think it's
you would.
It's a bit of a cop out to say. Sorry, Keith. I'll just be real quick. It's a bit of a cop out to say. I'm not attacking you on this, Keith, but some of these DSA people are.
They're just so nice to. Whatever. They're just nice. They're nice. There's no other reason. They're just nice. Surely everybody was very kind to Wick as well and said that they're not attacking him. But I'll have to see later. Surely.
They're like, I'm not associated with the national, I'm with the local. Well, Hong did that from Wisconsin. I looked up her Madison branch, and sure enough, there's a working group to abolish prisons in there when she said she doesn't support that. So I feel like the local groups are pretty much in line with the national too.
I mean, that's just hasn't been my experience, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could paint with a broad brush and.
Well, I think, I think there would be like unfairly mischaracterizing a group, and then there's taking their national platform. I think like the Democratic Party national platform similarly defines the party when those things are relevant every 4 years. And I just don't understand this idea that we wouldn't
give this grace to MAGA. Like if someone was
you wouldn't give this grace to these wouldn't give this grace to the Dems, Wick.
Like, well, I don't vote with.
And I appreciate IRI, Hutch, and even the soy pill so far, calling the masked out stuff kind of going
on everything. And there's some things I disagree with MAGA brand, but 80% of the time, 75% of the time they identify as MAGA. We wouldn't grant them this grace. Why are we doing it for these guys?
Is it MAGA or MAGA?
I don't fucking know.
Make
I would like-
I don't know why. I always said MAGA. That's what I thought it was. Is it MAGA?
I would like to know. I would like to. I think it's MAGA. Don't give them. Don't give them the soft A. They don't deserve it.
The hard A.
Good one.
I think with peace and love in my heart, I feel like, Keith, you're sane washing a little bit. There's this concept in those circles of entryism where these groups will deliberately infiltrate, parties like the Democratic Party, and then they run on populist, broadly like popular economic policies like, rent control or, lower taxes for middle income and low income
Do they ask him who he voted for in 2024?
people and subsidize healthcare.
God, for my future politics podcast, hold on, I gotta get this going. I gotta have 3 questions. Number 1, politics podcast questions. Number 1, who did you vote for in 2024? Did Hassan shock his dog? And I'll have to keep thinking.
But the whole point is to sort of like hollow out the institution and rebuild it in their image, or do what they call like a dirty
yeah, that's
break where they get
politics.
enough
Who
support.
won 2020 to
Are
filter
you a
MAGA?
DSA member?
I'm a DSA member. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
So do
did
you,
okay.
Keith, do you support those things we've talked about, like abolishing
No.
prison?
No, I don't.
So why
support
did
that,
you
no.
join DSA then?
Because
What made you join?
It's not. Well, first off, have you? I think if you ever been a part of a political group, they're more aligned with what I believe and the actions that they take.
So, but which ones? What is more aligned?
Than like the local
why?
Democratic club that I used to be a member of.
Yeah,
So
what
there's that
do the
stuff.
though? What do they stand for that you think makes you want to align with them more than a Democrat?
Well, I like that they're actually action oriented and they're trying to do things locally within like New York or Florida. And they actually seem to be doing things that are changing politics for the better, in my opinion. We have
Like what? Like what? This is every conversation we have at like tier 5s. It's like, oh, I think like something XYZ is very good. Oh yeah. What?
Zoran Mamdani, who, if not for the DSA, AOC, if not for the DSA, wouldn't be political figures. And it just was really funny to me that the establishment is so upset about the DSA when
We're
they're
watching it
actually
from start
just
to finish,
helping
Matt
create
Goldus. You fool.
better politicians that actually are
Who was
helping
dear leaders tie perfect length? Of course.
the Democratic brand.
Well,
Hold
how
on.
do you square
Tom?
that? How do you square that with like JB Pritzker, for example, who's been really aggressive on
The
on
billionaire.
super progressive policy, or how do you square that with Abigail Spanberger, who signed nearly 1,000 bills into law in her first 90 days?
The Virginia governor?
I mean, you say like DSA are the ones that are action oriented, but I just never hear a peep about politicians like Shapiro, who has like god tier net approval.
No.
in
I'm
Pennsylvania,
saying
you
like
know?
no, I'm saying like Amazon.
I have no idea, Webtoon. When the guy says like the DSA organizes better than the Dems on local elections, that's probably true in some places and absolutely not true in others. I guarantee the DSA isn't in every single city, so there's no way. But I also would say the DNC isn't in every city. So it's going to be true in some places and not true in others.
is fighting a bill that's going through the city council in New York that would make it so that delivery drivers who do the last mile here in New York City have to actually be Amazon employees. Right now, they're contractors. And so they've been taking a lot of actions around that to help push that through the process of the city council.
Is
That's
it-
what I
Sure,
mean.
but that's
Thank
not
you,
a
Miss
true
Moxie,
feel
for the
like
sub.
that's a- Yeah, I don't
What's
feel
that?
like that's a DSA
That's not a
thing.
DSA
That's-
That
exclusive.
is the
Like,
DSA. No, the
Democrats fight
DSA
for
is
stuff
like
that.
they find specifics, things like that help workers, like bills like that, and they try to make sure that they are putting pressure on the politicians to get it passed, and also making people aware that Amazon and other companies
You
are
don't
trying
think
to fight
Democrats
it.
do this?
Well, Keith, to bridge the gap
No.
here, I think
No, I don't think.
Democrats-
But
hold
that's
on.
the thing. It's
Whoa,
like
whoa,
it's an
whoa,
act.
You don't think
it's
Democrats
more-
have stood up for the working class again and again and again with bill after bill after bill?
No, I'm saying
Sandberger
that
is a pretty
Democrats
good
aren't
example.
organized like that on the local level. That's what I mean.
So you're saying the local Democratic
Which state does Keith live in?
chapters don't have that.
No,
energy
I've been in local Democratic chapters. They literally exist to help the
New
members
York.
of Congress and
Classic.
the local elected stay in power. That's the whole point. And trust me, there's no activism at the Democratic clubs, at least the ones in New York City.
Doesn't
you're
that
saying
seem
the
a little
local
bit?
game,
Doesn't that
in
seem
your
a little bit
opinion.
broad?
Well,
I
hang on,
mean, like,
wait a
doesn't
minute,
that
just to clarify here. So what you're saying is, so if I understand you correctly, because they're hitting you with like statewide and national figures. And to be clear, Keith, and I'm
Why can't Keith make his own point? And I appreciate what Josiah is doing. I'm not snarking Josiah. The host should kind of like help their guest make their point or whatever. But it's just kind of that I feel like these morons can never make their own point and always need someone else to come and reframe it.
sure you would agree, there is an overstatement on the part of the left that Democrats never get anything done. You know, that's like, again, Spanberger's a good example.
Okay, he isn't restating. He's instead pushing back a little bit. I'm sorry.
Joe Biden got a lot done. Like, there is a lot of movement at the national and state level from quote unquote establishment Democratic figures. But you're saying at the local level, in your experience, the DSA there was more game in town for the local chapter of the DSA, and that's what, because you're in New York, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
You signed up with the New York DSA because for local issues you preferred them as opposed to the Democratic Party.
Yes. And as I'm saying, I mean, I know you all want to be like DSA is a little. I'm not a Marxist. I consider myself to be like a social democrat. And there's a lot of people like me, but I say the main people who go to these meetings are just more progressive.
What does this mean? They just use catch-all phrases. Give examples, man.
Democrats, and so it's like
progressive on what? What do you mean progressive?
I don't know, but I understand the party platform and that lady that went on Fox News, insane. But also why can't I be a member of something and trying to do what I can to put my beliefs onto the party, onto the group too? So it's like. I think this idea of having
the majority of DSA is Marxist-Leninist, and their end goals are not the same as yours if you truly aren't a Marxist-Leninist.
No, they're not.
Wait, is the argument that the Democratic Socialists are Marxist-Leninists?
Well, I don't know about ML specifically, but definitely
Marxists.
Marxists,
yeah.
The DSA are Marxist explicitly.
Guys, should we get a woman's voice in here?
Marxist-Leninist.
Leftist Blondie is
Keith already said about how all the testosterone on here.
Do it.
All right, let's
get another
panel. We could get we could fit 9
doesn't have
people
too
in
much
here.
time anyway.
I do have to. I do have something. I do have to get to, but.
Hi, Anne. How's it
I
going?
do want to.
Are you a card-carrying DSA member? What do you have to say about this?
Right in real
Oh
time.
my God, bruh.
No, can you
Where's my diversity, man?
guys hear me? Well, I've never done it this way before. Okay, that's good. Wick, I thought you missed me. What happened? You're all of a sudden you have to go now.
Well, because I had the Liberal Action Network thing I have to do.
Is she even
And
blonde?
Oh, okay.
I told them I'd push
Can
it
she
back
really
a
be
little
called
bit 'cause I wanted
leftist
to
blondie
fight
and
the
be
good fight,
brunette?
too.
Hello?
This is more important.
No, I'll give you 10 minutes and then I have to go.
There's good liberal work to be done, Wick. Come on.
Yes, that's why I'm here. I'll give you 10 minutes and then I do have to fulfill my responsibilities. So.
True.
All right, say
I
your
don't want
piece.
to interrupt. I know you guys were just in the middle of something.
You've already interrupted. Now you have to. Keep going.
For what it's worth, I just want to say
We saw the DC
Keith,
meetup talking about where's the diversity. We had a black guy there. What are you talking about, man?
Button on it. Like, I am not going to deny your experience with DSA, and I don't share Wick's contempt for
Darius
DSA
was there.
or even Hutch's to the extent that they do. Now, I do think that there is an illiberal strain within the upper echelons of DSA.
I don't know. Hang on. I don't know why people are saying it is like it's not an illiberal strain. That is from the top down.
Is AOC a liberal? Is AOC a liberal in your estimation?
She's not the top down.
Is AOC a leader of the DSA?
She's a DSA endorsement.
She's a member.
Didn't they disavow her?
So wait a minute.
The National DSA did disavow. Well, disavow, I don't know if is the word. They unendorsed her.
So wait a minute.
Why are you fighting me on this? Why are you fighting me on this? Just
why can't tell him much? And I'm not starting to decide. This is just funny to say. Tell him why can't you be normal?
You want to paint the entire DSA as illiberal, and I reject that category. I just categorically reject that.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. Have you read their platform?
I've read their platform, but this is
then I
where I
don't know
think
why you would
Keith has
say
a
that, though.
fair point, which is this idea that literally every single candidate or every single member of the DSA must co-sign the illiberal extreme of the national platform.
No. But the national
I just
platform,
reject it.
that is the party identity, though. But I feel
so wait a minute. So to be clear, you agree then that AOC and Zoran Mamdani are illiberal. You cannot be a liberal member of the DSA.
No,
right?
That's
no,
not.
he's saying the majority of them are going to probably follow the national platform.
You're trying to find a contradiction. You're not.
No, I mean I found it. I found it. I found it. You're fucked.
No, but she governs like a pragmatic, progressive liberal, and she's DSA aligned. She's still,
take AOC out. What about Mamdani? Mamdani has not been disavowed by AOC or by the DSA. Is Zoran Mamdani illiberal?
I would say so. Yes,
he's a communist,
I would say
right?
so.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be right back. 1 second. I don't mean to bail. I'll be right back.
Oh, he's running. Oh my, he's actually running.
1 second.
Yeah, Josiah here. I'll argue for Edge because I agree with him here. Like the idea that this isn't a majority of this like coalition.
I did not say even majority. I said the idea that literally every single member.
No one's saying there aren't exceptions. They're saying this is the DSA, this is the org, this is their national platform, and this is what they're pushing. Like, why would you be a part of an org if you're that opposed to?
I hate to Pisco out, but I feel like we need to define what a liberal means. Is there like a definition that they're working with already in this podcast?
Communism in the long run. If you're that opposed to seizing private property, if you're that opposed to this national platform.
Can you be a liberal who is not opposed to communism?
Can you be a liberal who isn't opposed to communism? I would probably say no. But it would depend on what you mean by opposed. But I would say no.
I don't know if you can have liberal communism. No.
Okay, so then by definition, there can be no liberal member of the DSA, right? You're boxed in, Soy.
No,
wait a minute.
People in the DSA who do not support communism.
No, literally, it sounds like Keith is one of these people who is just like, no, even though a majority of the people kind of want this illiberal communist.
How can
you could probably be a member if you just don't know really what's going on? You can still be technically liberal.
Using a private property.
Liberal, how can
because in the short term, this is not big enough for him to like. It's like, look, they're pushing more progressive, they're fighting harder, they're organizing, and yeah, maybe that's their end goal, but it's so far in the future that it doesn't matter to me, right?
So then you can be a liberal member of the DSA.
I didn't say you couldn't. I'm just saying that clearly the majority. No, I'm saying you probably can't be a liberal communist.
Can you be a liberal MAGA?
You said that DSA.
No, Josiah, can you be a liberal
DSA
MAGA
supports communism, right? The
liberal
national
and
platform.
Yeah.
Right, Soy Pill?
Yeah.
How can you be part of an organization that has such an illiberal?
Yeah, what's the point?
So you're asking what the efficacy is, not that
obviously
it's not possible.
people are part of it that are
okay, well then we're good. Then
okay, yeah, we didn't disagree. I'm just, but the fear was not, can you be an exception in this? The fear is, hey, these people do not have the same goals, the same end goals as you. Some people in it do, some people don't. Most probably don't if they are Marxist-Leninists or Marxists.
I'm assuming.
Keith, then we agree that Keith is a liberal member of DSA, and it's possible to be liberal members of the DSA.
I don't know
if he's telling the truth. Yeah, sure.
I would say that you can only be a liberal member of the DSA if you don't know what the DSA is pushing for. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a DSA member if you're a liberal. And I specifically mean, like, we'll just go to, like, the support for private property or, like, market economies.
Okay.
I just don't know why you're fighting so much on this one particular thing, Josiah. Like, instead of just acknowledging that this is a organization.
The DSA, somebody in Kick Chat said, top mind, by the way. That's where they all are, Kick Chat. The DSA's eventual goal is not liberal.
Isn't that Josiah?
It is fundamentally Marxist.
do you
It is
follow
a
Trump?
So
fundamental.
Hutch, I'm going to ask you. Hutch, I'm going
Don't
to
get
ask
so
you.
defensive.
Can
Wait, hang
you-
on. Just
Can
listen
you
to me.
be a liberal member
What do you
of
think
DSA?
DSA's goals are?
I don't think you can be an active member of the DSA and be liberal. No. I'll say that no. I'll say no.
What do you think
Can
DSA's
you
goals
be?
are?
I think that their goals are to abolish prisons, as they say.
No,
to
no,
totally...
no. I'm not. Listen, I'm not talking about specific policies per se, but I'm saying like the broad vision. What do you think they're trying to accomplish?
politically,
politically.
to locally or nationally.
I mean, both.
Why would a liberal want to be in the DSA if the Democratic Party exists? The only correct answer is that the liberal would just be uninformed of what the DSA would actually is. That is the only reason I can think of.
I think their goal is to fundamentally alter, like the end state is to fundamentally alter the current state of America and make it a more socialist enterprise.
Okay, then why are you fighting us on this, man?
What are you fighting us on?
Why are you fighting me when I say it is possible to
No
be
one's
a
saying- we
liberal
didn't fight
member
you
of
on
the
that.
DSA?
It's possible to not be a racist member of the KKK. It's possible.
Well, wait a minute, because
Possible, just like it's possible to be someone who is liberal and supports MAGA. It's
Yeah, Wick is.
possible.
Wick is
I just hate getting in on this. Like, is it possible that XYZ can have it's possible to be a Nazi and not hate a Jew. I mean, like, yeah, it's possible. It's not probable, but there are a possible set of circumstances that I could foresee if I am Doctor Strange.
Not
liberal and
likely.
supports MAGA. Come on.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I have to think about that. I don't know if
It's possible I can drive perfectly after 10 pints. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible that you get 500,000 monkeys together and they'll eventually write Shakespeare. It could happen. Yeah, sure.
To be a liberal
it's
MAGA
possible in the same
supporter.
way it's possible to be liberal and support the DSA.
I want to ask Keith.
I do have
as
to
a
go
lib-
soon. Just FYI.
Keith, I assume you're a liberal. I'm not trying to. And is that correct? Do you identify as a liberal? Are you a socialist? Like, how do you?
Yeah,
label?
liberal. Yeah.
Liberal.
I think the problem is people don't know when you're asking, like, are you a liberal, what it actually means. We need, like, concrete definitions
So,
to, like, ask about.
are you afraid that as a liberal joining DSA that you could open the door for some of the more extremist stuff by legitimizing them?
No, I mean, I don't. What do you mean?
So you've heard
Legitimizing
some of
them?
their
Aren't they already
national.
legitimized.
No. But I think the concern is that
Why the labels just ask what they believe about a specific topic? I think that's actually a pretty good idea.
we're kind of sane washing some of the more extreme stuff while you're not hearing that from
Shut
the
up, Parsec.
people on the ground at the
No one
meetings you're going
cares.
to. But people are concerned that it's a Trojan
You got the
horse
motion
to
of a
bring
snail, dude.
this group and this ideology that undermines capitalism and liberalism. Does that concern you at all, joiling a local chapter?
No, I mean, I think I personally think we're.
Put the emotes in the bag.
I think capitalism deserves to be undermined. I don't think it is serving us as best it could right now. We used to regulate. We used to regulate
You can
things.
regulate
I would like
things
to.
out of
I like to get into regulation again. So yes, I think that like, what is Wick guy is very
Well,
dramatic.
Keith, are you masking on right now? Like, can you just
He
tell
is.
us what your
Hold
real
on, I'll just
position
ask you. I got a question.
all of it
Keith,
right now.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
Oh my god, he's a king. He's an actual king.
What?
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
He says he didn't. No.
He says he did.
Oh my god! That's literally the answer that they're giving in Congress about if Joe Biden won the election. They just say, well, he was president. I just had a brain blast, dude. The horseshoe just connected in my mind. Joe Biden was certified. Oh my god. He says he didn't.
What are we doing here?
Anyway,
Let's
I
not-
just
let's-
need.
listen.
That's all I needed.
I don't
Okay,
know
guys,
if
I
does
gotta
Keith
go.
traffic
I
in
love
that.
you all.
Keith, I don't. Do you like follow like Hassan?
I have no idea
Drama?
what that.
Okay,
I don't know.
Wick.
Oh my god, when does he talk about? Can I get the link? When does he talk about the dog? Well, first of all, he never shocked the dog. I can't believe it, dude.
Ask him a different question because
Sure.
that's
Do you
a
think,
bit more
do you think
He
Hassan
failed. He failed.
Piker
The answer
is
is yes.
Do you think Hassan Piker is a threat to the Democratic Party?
Yes. Ooh, that's another good one to ask.
No.
Okay. Yep, that's all I needed. Okay. I'll see you guys later. I love you.
Bye, Wick.
gotta go.
Bye.
So
Wick,
Keith,
you're
now I would disagree on that. I mean, I think that Hassan's from my experience, and I don't obsess about him quite like some of the others on this panel, but some of the shit that he has said is not just illiberal in terms of policy, but like the apologia for Chairman Mao and shit like this, and you know other things like he's
Please hit him with I don't know. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. I don't know anything about that. Please, Lord, please.
pretty radical, I think it's fair to say. And also like his answer over
I'm gonna
Gavin
come.
Newsom, JD
I'm so
Vance
close.
shit. I mean, I question to what extent he takes MAGA seriously. I mean, Adam Mockler confronted him on this, our mutual buddy Adam, and Adam dog walked him for the first half of that conversation by forcing him to confront the fact that Democrats just really are the superior party. So I would
please,
peer to
I mean,
peer,
I
friend to
don't-
friend,
I don't-
encourage you to revisit Hassan. But
Oh yeah, well, I think I don't think Hassan Piker is hurting the Democratic Party, and I believe in a majority. I
My
just want I want a
balls!
coalition.
I
that
was
can
so
win
close.
Majorities, and I think it involves.
On right now, like, can you just
He is.
tell us what your
Hold on,
real
I'll just ask you.
position
I
is?
gotta go through
All of it right now.
Did Hassan did
You have f***ed this clip up. You spent the time to go here and do it, and yet you f***ed it up. How hard is it for you to not you piece of shit? How dare you link me a clip that's not perfect? You sniveling sleazebag.
I gotta go through
All of it right now.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog? Did Hassan Piker shock his dog? Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
What?
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
He says he didn't. No. He says he didn't. No.
This is what I need.
He said
I just need this part.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
I'll do the rest.
involves having everyone from someone like Hassan Piker
And, you know, give me the he didn't pay attention to it too part. Why not?
to someone like Richie Torres. So
Yeah, but
I
Keith,
think
you came
we
in
need to
here
have
saying
all
like,
of them.
oh, I'm a
Listen.
liberal and I don't agree with all that stuff. But now you're saying you want to undermine capitalism. I mean, like, if you agree with the DSA national platform, just
Well,
say
I think
so. but
capitalism.
don't be
actually
lying
is
to us
best.
about this.
I
like,
think capitalism is best when it's a little bit undermined. Like you kind of need a little bit undermining in order to make sure that people aren't being taken advantage of. And I don't think we're doing enough of that right now. I think we
He's
are.
You just
messed
mean
up.
regulation?
Yes.
Just-
And Pisco's steel manning him. Not steel manning. He's providing the assist.
Regulation, but
Yeah,
that
he
is
said
literally
that.
yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's yes, but we don't even do that anymore. But I do think when it comes to like certain companies, I don't think those companies
Name one.
should exist as free market.
Which ones?
So, like
Okay,
I don't think there's
that's
a free
more of the
market
strain.
solution.
Because when you say we need to undermine capitalism, what people will hear, at least on this panel, is like undermine the ownership structure and the power structure.
Well, I
related to
think
capitalism.
for some things we should like. I don't understand why there's oil companies.
Oh, this is a great part.
Why?
Are you asking me?
No, I just don't. I don't like. I think for some goods, for some like products.
He wants to nationalize the oil. That's crazy.
I just it's and maybe I'm like a little juvenile, but I just don't understand like oil kind of I feel like it's the earth's, it belongs to everyone, you know, and so I don't understand why
Wow.
there's
Things
certain
that belong
You really just got to bring these guys on and let them talk, huh?
to
companies-
Earth should not be companies. Like,
Well,
if you're,
yeah,
like,
I
if you
think
pick
there's
flowers
some
and-
yeah, I think
and
there's some
farms and shit.
yeah, I think some products it doesn't make sense to me that that they are for profit when everyone
because
when-
of some
when
like
we all
economic
need it.
theory, or because of like their relationship to the ground and to like
No,
Mother Nature.
come on.
That's,
Yeah, they're because of
No, I'm
relationship
just
to the
asking
ground.
the
No,
question.
because they're like yeah,
No,
but-
you're being
because yeah, but like I do feel like if they could, we would somehow be charged for air. Like that's how
he's saying it-
that's what it,
He's
Yeah.
saying it's a public good. Like it's
Well, actually, They do charge you for air.
I think that like what?
How is the quality so
guys,
dog
right?
shit?
Yeah,
Well,
dramatic.
Keith, are you basking on right now? Like,
Just let Boag Lund handle it. Just let him cook, man.
It's
Yeah,
all
a
of
public
ours.
good.
But Keith, I would argue it takes money and time to get to
Yeah,
that
that's
oil.
why governments should but that again, that's where I probably am a little bit more on the left than some of you. So
Wait,
and that's
I'm curious
okay.
though. It seems like Keith is doing the thing that like we're trying to disprove exists. He's being the like reasonable DSA member right now. So I've been
It's reasonable to abolish oil companies in America and nationalize them all?
probably much more sick of this than you have been, Keith, of like seeing for the last 5 or 6 weeks, just every single lib panel ever is all about the DSA, all about the
We've been sick of that with you for 4 years, man, if not longer. The whole Biden presidency, do you forget about that? Jesus Christ, these need to be gone to the sun.
scary like commies and tankies taking over. Like it's I'm so sorry. We're just reliving McCarthyism and it's so
I want to nationalize SpaceX. Do you need me to walk you through SpaceX and why that shouldn't be private?
annoying, just frankly. I think that one of the problems is like people on the left, the politicians will moderate when they get elected. You saw this with AOC, you see this with people like Bernie, Mamdani. Yeah, exactly. Look, I think you can list off all of these names of people, they espouse to these sorts of crazy things. Like Mamdani, just saw him talking about how, well, we really can't arrest, Benjamin Netanyahu when he comes to New York, regardless of what I think that he should have done in that case or what Keith thinks that he should have done. I think generally speaking, those people tend to moderate regardless of whether or not their base wants them to be more extreme. And then I think what's indicative of like the DSA being less radical than
Hold
on right now? Like, can you just
He is.
tell us what your
Hold on, I'll just ask you. I gotta go through
all of it right now.
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
What?
Did Hassan Piker shock his dog?
He says he didn't. No.
He says he didn't. No.
What are
Okay.
we doing here?
Anyway,
Let's
I just need.
listen.
That's all I needed.
I don't
Okay,
know
guys,
if
I
does
gotta
Keith
go.
traffic
I
in
love
that.
you all.
Keith, I don't. Do you like follow like Hassan?
I have no
Drama?
idea what that.
Okay,
I don't know.
Wick, ask him a different question because that's
Do you
a bit
think,
more
do you think
niche.
Hassan
failed. He failed.
Piker
The answer
is
is yes.
Do you think Hassan Piker is a threat to the Democratic Party?
No.
You kind of fucked it up.
kind of I'm hearing right now is people like Keith and people like myself who's not in the DSA because I have like strong ideological differences with them, which I do have a lot of strong ideological differences, but it's more of like practical, like personal reasons that I'm not in the DSA. So I think this is like proving the point.
Are you a member of DSA or not? I didn't.
No, I
didn't
just said I
understand.
wasn't.
Oh,
So-
I just
is
hurt my
mic
leg.
okay? I just want to make sure that's
No, you're
Yes,
sorry.
they've told you your mic's okay twice now, you moron.
good. You're good.
Okay, cool.
And I would co-sign this too. Unfortunately, I'm an addict, but yes, it drives me up the wall that this is as much of the discourse because one thing, I mean, we may disagree on certain particulars, but one thing that I know Keith and I are aligned on, I'm not familiar with you, Ann, but it sounds like you're the same way, which is that you got to keep the focus on Trump and MAGA and
What?
fascism.
Whatever.
And so to that end, anti-fascism, I think, makes strange bedfellows. So, I'm not crazy about Hassan Piker, but again,
I mean, why the hell are we talking about the DSA at all when there's a genocide going on? How are we talking about MAGA when Israel is literally committing a genocide? Like, how can the focus even be on U.S. politics when Israel is committing a genocide right at this moment? Like, how can you go and rally for a candidate when Israel is committing a genocide? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't make most or hardly any of my advocacy against attacking Hassan Piker because right now he's mobilizing his audience and his resources to defeat MAGA by, supporting people in Democratic primaries, and some of them go on to win their primaries, and then they'll be up against, Republicans. Now, other people have different priorities, and they think that Hassan's candidates are so illiberal or so radical or such a drag on the party that they want to hash that out in the primary. That's just not my calculus. And so I also, in my evaluation of DSA, I know Hutch wants me to put more stock in the national platform. Fair enough. But my mind instantly goes to Zoran Mamdani and AOC, who are more.
These are just members of the DSA. They're members.
Important than any random bureaucrat in the DSA, and I think are going to play a much more pivotal role in shaping the DSA. I think that's fair to say, than the random person on Fox News. I mean, I shouldn't say random. She is the chair, but I mean, like, she's no name, she's no name. And
she's not a household name. Like, people don't recognize, no one knows who she is.
Right.
That doesn't matter. Why would that matter? Why? Why would that matter at all? If they're behind the scenes creating policy, them having a name doesn't fucking matter.
And let me put it like this: I would expect that if DSA were to hold elections, like if this person, if Zoran said, you know what, I want to be mayor and chairman of the DSA, that lady would be gone in 5 minutes. That's my expectation, right? So,
okay, I mean, I don't know.
So I totally agree with you. Unfortunately, this is the latest spat in this corner of the internet.
I don't understand, because I feel like for the most part, when I see the more public, visible DSA people that are out there doing advocacy, they present themselves with hostile framing. Their whole pitch is, we want to completely destroy the Democratic Party and replace it. And they take an inherently adversarial position. And so
but Hutch, I don't understand. The Democratic Party isn't worth saving.
I'm almost finished. And so when you say, I don't understand why people are, throwing such a fit about the DSA when they're over here just trying to give people health care, but that's not how they're presenting themselves. They're
actually, okay, I didn't say that.
Well, I'm taking liberties a little bit, but that's kind of the framing that you get. It's well, you disagree with giving people health care, but that's not the issue that I have with DSA. The issue that I have with DSA is that they're foundationally an authoritarian, leftist group. And I'm a liberal who likes liberal things. And so, I also have concerns about do you have any concerns about El Sayed and Hong relatively underperforming to the current climate right now? I mean, does it concern you at all?
Guess they never have concerns. Watch.
To that, there's the thing I like to think about with that is Alyssa Slotkin won by 0.1%.
20,000-ish votes. Yeah.
Was it 10,000 votes? How many votes?
Yeah, she overperformed Kamala in a year where
she underperformed Kamala in raw votes. It's just that that most people that voted for Trump didn't vote for Mike Rogers, or not.
Alyssa Slotkin is undefeated in competitive races. You understand, she has insane value for the Democratic Party, right?
Can we not aspire for more than 0.1%? That's what I mean. And so it's sure, if that's the goal, yeah, okay.
But DSA are not running
someone different. We can
but
just
DSA are not
different.
Okay, but DSA are not running in competitive races though. They're only targeting deep
DSA,
blue state.
But he believes he's definitely more progressive.
And he's underperforming. I've never seen a single poll that wasn't an internal from him that had him beating Rogers.
So Keith,
that's because Hutch. But when you're in a competitive primary, it tends to sink both candidates, and so he hasn't had positive ads out there yet, and there hasn't been couldn't you say that about?
Just so you know, he is wrong. Alyssa Slotkin did not get more votes than Kamala. It's 20,000 off.
About any moderate Democrat who also ran in competitive primaries though?
No. But I'm saying it's not fair to compare his polling right now versus when he becomes a nominee.
I'm not
because
sure.
When he becomes a nominee, it becomes. No, I'm just saying that. I understand, but that's there's going to be tens of hundreds of millions of dollars of positive and negative spent on Abdul and against Mike Rogers, and so until that it's just not. That's what I mean. And Mike Rogers has been basically running unopposed.
I feel right now. I don't. It's sometimes really hard for me to understand what these guys are saying. I got to go back 30 seconds. I'm going back a minute.
They're
No,
only
but
they're
and
only
El Said's
targeting
not
deep blue
DSA,
sky.
but he believes he's definitely more progressive.
And he's
than Alyssa
underperforming.
Slotkin.
I've never seen a single poll that wasn't internal from him that had him beating
yeah.
Rogers.
So Keith,
Well, that's because Hutch. But when you're in a competitive primary, it tends to sink both candidates, and so he hasn't had positive ads out there yet, and there hasn't been like
Couldn't you say that about? I mean, couldn't you say that about any like moderate Democrat who also ran in competitive primaries though? Like,
No. But I'm saying it's not fair to compare his polling right now versus when he becomes a nominee.
I'm not
Because
sure.
when he becomes a nominee, it becomes. No, I'm just
Okay,
saying
well, I
that.
mean, we'll
No,
see,
I understand, but that's like there's going to be tens of hundreds of millions of dollars of positive and negative spent on Abdul and against Mike Rogers, and so until that like it's just not. That's what I mean. And like Mike Rogers has been raised to be running unopposed, so he's probably.
Hutch is literally just saying, can't you say the same thing for a middling Democrat?
At his ceiling, Mike Rogers, whereas Abdul probably has actually more room to grow because he hasn't had any positive advertising.
Keith, your expectation, just so I understand it correctly, your expectation is after the primary is concluded, assuming that, as the polls indicate, that Saeed wins tomorrow, you would expect between tomorrow and by the time of the election, Abdul will increase his margin vis-a-vis Rogers in the general election.
That would be I think it's listen, Michigan's a swing state. I'm from Michigan.
Right.
That's where I grew up. But I do think that to compare polling right now when you have a competitive primary is not
but
the
if you
full story.
you just take the Syed race out entirely and just like disregard it, we just empirically know that more progressive candidates, more left-wing candidates do worse in competitive races than more moderate candidates. Like that's not up for debate.
Maybe that's true. I actually don't know. When has the progressive won? And
we're talking
and done a statewide race. Like, has that happened?
No. I can link you
In a
to.
swing state.
Wait, hold on. I can link you to an article from our boy
Laksha Jain. He's gonna he'll reference Laksha Jain.
There was a
split ticket.
Yeah, there was a split ticket analysis. They did a meta study over the last like 4 cycles.
Can I any knowers of this article?
I'd
be
and
interested
Blue
to read
Dog
this.
Democrats performed the best. Moderate Democrats were in the middle of the pack.
What does a blue dog dem mean? Does that mean like you're like a further right dem?
And
I don't
progressives did
think
worse
many
in competitive
progressives
races.
run in swing states
just
statewide,
moderate.
do they?
But they don't. They
Dem
generally
who votes with Republicans.
and especially DSA, they don't even target competitive races. They only target deep blue
So
seats.
but that's what I mean is there's actually not a lot of data to point from because it doesn't really happen.
He just told you that there's 4 elections. Like, okay, whatever. Whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Nobody can read. That's fine. I'll read. I'll do it for him. Are moderates more electable? 2018 to 2024, House wins above replacement by caucus. How different ideological groups of House incumbents did, on average, in each cycle between 2018 and 2024 by split tickets win above replacement metric. Do they define what the win above replacement metric? Recently, a study from Stanford's Adam Bonica came out, suggesting that moderation generally has little to do with electability, and the party should seek to appeal to their base voters first and foremost in order to win elections. I have a lot of respect for Adam, and I won't cast aspersions on his work, but this finding cuts against everything we've modeled. And I want to show you our research in a little more detail and try to reconcile some differences between our work and the academic literature. At Split Ticket, we have modeled the last 8 years of candidate quality in congressional elections via our wins above replacement metric, and thus have perhaps the most comprehensive database of candidate quality in the Trump era. Full wins above replacement database. How do you determine whether a candidate's performance was good, bad, or simply average? Split Ticket uses demographics, incumbency, partisanship, and financial data to assemble a wins above replacement metric quantifying candidate quality. We create a baseline for how fundamentals suggest a race should have gone using the above factors, and then evaluate the true margins against fundamentals. Baseline margin, for instance, if fundamentals suggested that a Dem that a race should have been D+1, but Democrats actually won by 4. The wins above replacement score for the seat would be +3, indicating that the Dems' margin was 3 points better than expected. Damn. Is that Alaska? Damn. Apologize to Boaglund. I can't, man. These guys, they just cannot clip, dude. They are not clipping correct today. Although our database covers every race contested by both parties, we'll limit our analysis to incumbents here for ease of classification. While quantifying challenger ideology is quite difficult, it's much easier to classify congressional incumbents as clearer ideological groupings begin to emerge in caucuses. In each of the 2018, 2020, 2022, and 2024 cycles, we have found that the more moderate a congressional caucus was, the better its members did, on average. Let's start with 2018. You can clearly see the moderate Blue Dogs were the best Democratic caucus, doing 4.8 points better than baseline expectations and 5 points better than Congressional Progressive Caucus. The New Democrats, who are right in the middle of the party, did slightly better than progressives and significantly worse than the Blue Dogs. How different ideological groups of House incumbents did in 2020. Why am I so tired? Oh, shock me, Hassan. Please wake me up. On the Republican side, the establishment Main Street Partnership did fairly well, with its members doing 2.7 points above replacement, and it did almost 4 points better than the significantly more extreme Freedom Caucus, which is best known for its incendiary legislative tactics and hardline ideological positions. Unsurprisingly, this dynamic was once again observed in 2020, with establishment Republicans and Blue Dogs doing tremendously well, while the progressives and Freedom Caucuses did fairly poorly. I wonder, my initial takeaway is, can only Dems vote in, like, Michigan primaries? Are independents allowed to vote in primaries? No, we have open primary. Okay. Because that would be, like, an initial thought of, like, maybe that's how you're getting further to the left candidates and further to the right candidates if it's, like, a closed. Michigan state law provides for open primaries. Okay, so it is open.
Well, why do you
So,
think they don't do
I'm
that? Hang on,
interested to
real
see-
quick though. Like, why do you think they don't?
I'll
run
read the rest of it
competitive
in a little
races?
bit.
Why do you
I'm just
think
tired.
Hong is distancing herself from DSA? Why do you think El Sayed is not, declaring himself to be a
No,
member of DSA?
progressives
Even
quite
though he's-
often run. They don't have. They quite often haven't been able to win the primary. It's new. It's a new thing where progressives have a completely different media ecosystem where they can get their messaging out and they can galvanize voters. And so that's why they're becoming more competitive, because they actually don't have to rely on mainstream media to get their voters aware of their existence. So I think
Keith,
there
well,
actually
we'll
haven't
see.
been a
We'll
lot of
see.
progressives.
You,
Yeah.
to follow
You
up
said
on Hutch's
something-
question. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
you said something interesting. If I heard you correctly, you said the Democratic Party's not worth saving. Did you say
I heard that too. Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Liberal, by the way. Dude, he's just masked up.
I think we need to fundamentally remake the Democratic Party's
But
leaders. and
Why?
we need to
Why do
fund-
you? But see, I think this drags down the Democratic.
How does this, is this the guy who came on and was super nice? And they had like a nice hour or two discussion? And now he's on Twitter acting like a badass? Just kill me. Just kill me, dude.
Party because
No.
we have people from the right hitting
No.
us, calling us communists and godless heathens, and then we have people on the left attacking us as well and going after Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. This is the party
Democratic
that brought
is
the
just an
enhanced
idea.
ACA subsidies to
The
give
Democratic
people
Party is
affordable
an
health
idea.
insurance for 12
It is not a
million
person.
people.
Is that a tattoo? The butterfly here? Dude, that tattoo must hurt. That's like right on the bone, right?
And I think right now the idea of the Democratic Party fundamentally needs to change.
Keith, did
And
you
I don't
vote for
think that's
Kamala
a
in
new idea.
2024?
Oh, thank you,
it
Soy
polls
Pill. Hold
worse
on. Soy Pill's he's coming in with some heat today.
than
Keith,
Donald Trump.
did you vote for Kamala in 2024?
Yeah.
I don't believe him. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think.
I
I
was
don't.
about
What's
to be
your
really
name?
fucking triggered.
What's your name? Soy.
The
Soy pill.
Hey.
Okay, soy pill. You don't know me, but like I've been
Yeah.
Democrat my whole life.
He was
I've
at the
worked on
DNC.
Democratic campaigns. I was on the Lincoln Project.
You can vote for Kamala and be a commie now? Yes, I understand that. It's the way that he said, yeah.
Because they wouldn't hire anyone else but Democrats. I was a communications director. I worked for John Ossoff as a senior digital advisor. Okay, the thing is that I have seen I've seen what the party can do, but I've also seen that the party quite often would prefer to have Donald Trump as
I think that's
president.
absurd, Keith. I think that's absurd.
Wait,
No,
you-
it's not
you-
absurd.
well,
You were
wait,
defending-
Hutch, we just watched
no,
Wick
Soy Bell.
just say that.
I called him out for it too, by the way. But
Yeah,
I
but like,
wait, well, Wick is not. Wait,
hang
Soy
on.
Bill. Wick is.
I worked for John Ossoff as a senior digital advisor. Okay, the thing is that I have seen I've seen what the party can do, but I've also seen that the party quite often would prefer to have Donald Trump as
I think that's
president.
absurd, Keith. I think that's absurd.
Wait,
No,
you-
it's not
you-
absurd.
well,
You were
wait,
defending-
Hutch, we just watched
no, Soy
Wick
Bell.
just say that.
I called him out for it too, by the way. But
Yeah, but like,
Wait, well, Wick is not. Wait,
hang
Soy
on.
Bill. Wick is not
Guys,
representative of
Can I
the
make my
overall
point? Can I
Democratic
make my
electorate.
point? Can I make my point? That's absurd because you were just using flowery language when it came to Hassan Piker. Just like 10 minutes ago. And he straight up did not endorse Kamala Harris, worked the entire cycle to undermine her, to try to tie her to, accusing her of literally wanting a genocide. And then you accuse moderate Democrats,
Right,
or
but
the moderate wing of
yes,
the party, of
but
preferring to lose to Donald Trump. That's ridiculous. That's absurd, man.
We
That's
threw
why-
out our
that's why
I
candidate.
think
Wait,
the Democratic
we
Party
threw out
is very
Biden.
comfortable having Donald Trump as a foil.
That's yeah, we
Just-
threw out we threw out our candidate. That's Joe Biden and that's the powers that be. That's Nancy Pelosi. That's the Obamas pushing him out. That's all the insiders as well as the base voters. We pushed them out specifically because of electability concerns. And so to act like when it was all hands on.
Which I think actually, I think it was a mistake. Donald Trump has never beaten a man. That's just a fact in the presidency. That's a fact. We should have kept him.
Dak, I mean, that's not true that we wanted.
So you
Trump
were
to win or
supportive
okay
when
with
there
it.
was a primary happening before June, when Marianne Williamson was running, and you were supportive of those candidates.
So I did not support Marianne Williamson. I did not support Cenk Uygur.
Okay.
I didn't support those candidates.
And why didn't any major Democrat run against Joe Biden?
Yeah, because
Because
Joe
he was-
Biden
he
made
was-
the selfish
because the
choice
Democratic-
to run again.
No, but if the
that
party
wasn't
is so healthy,
who made that
if
choice?
the party is so healthy, why didn't anyone run against Joe Biden?
No,
They
hang on,
did.
That's different.
They
Wait,
did.
wait,
They
that's-
lost
Keith,
because they
Keith,
weren't
Keith,
even
respect-
close to having
Oh,
support.
you mean
Respectfully,
I can't
that's
even remember the
different.
guy's name? A
Respectfully-
congressman from New Hampshire. What was his name?
Dean Phillips, Marianne Williamson.
Dean Phillips. Oh yeah,
RFK,
no rock stars
RFK.
running against Joe Biden.
So respectfully, that's a different thing. So saying that Joe Biden made the
no,
wrong
it's not.
choice.
No, it's not a
and
different thing. It's
you-
a sign. It's a simple.
The debate didn't actually hurt him, by the way. It was the Dem reaction. Yeah, I mean, that's how it always is. It's our media apparatus and how they react to stuff. If Donald Trump did bad in a debate, do you think Fox News would be out there being like, oh my God? Oh my God?
symptom of
It's
the illness.
absolutely true. And I'll debate you if you want to get on and talk about it. In Crudent.
Of the Democratic Party, that someone
So-
like
no, no.
Joe Biden could
That the
run
incumbent runs for
unopposed by
re-election?
people that knew that it was not allowed.
how
It
that
was
every
not.
shouldn't have
single
happened.
No, but-
incumbent goes. No one is primarying incumbent presidents who have the party coalesce behind them. This is not how it works. This is
This was
completely
an
unheard of.
Then, see, that's the
unprecedented-
thing is, I think a healthy party wouldn't be saying that.
But we
okay,
had
you might-
primaries,
you
and
may
all
be-
four
wait,
of those
wait, wait,
people
Keith, you
lost
may-
No,
because
there's
anyone who
primary,
might
there
have
weren't
opposed
debates. Were
him.
there
I
primary
meant Splash,
debates?
not in Crudent.
Were there
Coach.
primary debates?
No, there were not.
This was not a competitive primary, and that was a problem. And you're right about that. But what you said was different. What you said is
But
the
I think,
Democrats
I guess
wanted
that's my
Trump to
point,
win.
is
That's a different thing.
It's a symptom. It's a symptom of the rot of the
Democrats do not want Trump to win. That's
Democratic Party.
The incumbent advantage, just like the general incumbent advantage, is a symptom of the rot of the Democratic Party.
No, the fact
AOC
that,
also didn't run. I mean, she couldn't have run, but like the progressive lane also wasn't occupied by some like serious, progressive candidate in Congress. And
Well,
that's,
well,
if
actually,
that's
we
a
know
failure
that
of moderates. It's a failure of progressive.
Morbler is the most chatter, and it's not even close. Stop sending me kicks, man. Stop it.
Progressives too.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
say.
failure of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I mean the progressive caucus, they were actually President Biden's longest lasting holdouts.
AOC Bernie said stay in.
AOC and Bernie. I mean,
Wait, can
look,
we pause there, Keith? Keith, you're not going to call them that Sanders and AOC wanted Trump to win, correct?
Sanders and AOC wanted Trump to win.
yeah, because
Why would you say-
Because they called for Joe
They
Biden
urged
not to
Biden
step
to
down.
stay in the race.
right, because
After the bad debate.
Well, no,
After the
I
bad debate,
believe
they were the first ones
I
out
believe.
to
I mean,
stay
I don't know
in.
why they did that. I assume because they thought that they could, if he were to stay in and win, they could get a lot out of him politically. So
Yes, but no, because they had some notion about what was in the best interest of the country, just like I assume the people who wanted to, replace Joe Biden later on. But you're assuming that they want Trump in office, and I think that's like, what's the evidence for that proposition?
Yeah, maybe this is good. Maybe all of the who were in the Democratic Party will just go to the DSA and just be there. Hold on. hold on now. I might like the DSA.
They might be willing to take actions that are, inure to the benefit of MAGA Republicans, and
Hold
I'm
on,
the
let
first
them
to call
cook.
them out on that. But I think it's a little bit much to say that like Joe Biden wanted to lose or Kamala Harris wanted to
Retards
lose,
strong
or they
together.
were okay with losing.
I think it's being a little unfair maybe to Keith. Let me try to defend. I think Keith is saying Democrats enjoy having MAGA and Trump as a foil, and maybe they're
Yes.
too reliant on it. Is that what you're trying to say, Keith?
yes,
No,
Hey, is that what you're trying to say, Keith? But are too make your own point? If you're gonna sweep for someone, IRI, you gotta add that last bit at the end.
But you
What's
said
the
sure, but
evidence of that?
that's fair because we do like pointing at MAGA and saying we need to stop this. This rallies people. I know all of our channels do better when MAGA's in power. I know not a single person here would deny that, but that's not good. That doesn't mean I want MAGA to win, for USA to get dismantled, for our rights to be shot, right? Like this is ridiculous that we like, oh yeah, like, well, I really want to make money on my YouTube channel.
No,
The Democrats really
no,
want to like
Soy Pal.
garner support.
I don't-
like
I don't think you want MAGA to win, but I'm just saying I don't think that it's keeping a lot of established Democrats or like high-paid consultants up at night that they get to run against.
I hate these retard YouTubers who have like 1 million views and they're talking about quote unquote high paid consultants. You make more money than them. You technically were the high paid consultant apparently when you worked on Ossoff's campaign as his whatever you said digital marketing manager or whatever.
Trump for a third time. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
what
I
would be
think
the end goal of that? I'm sorry, I just don't quite understand this argument about what's going on here. Like, what's the end goal? Like,
To make money as
because we're not
consultants or
talking
something.
about streamers, right? We're talking about politicians. We're talking about consultants. We're talking about the party. Why does the party want Donald Trump to win? Even I'm not that cynical about the Democrats.
I think saying want Donald Trump to win is just like me being is just like
Oh,
you're
walk it
repeating
back.
rhetoric that is very, very common in those spaces
Walk
online.
it
They
back.
say this
Yes.
constantly. But it is
Yes.
like that is a pretty
but I think
outrageous thing to say.
I think the truth behind that is that because it doesn't I don't think it bothers them, I guess, is that he has won because it allows them to run against him, fundraise against him.
Sure.
Keith,
Because
I'm-
there's
they don't have
silver
to actually
linings.
get-
I
he's
mean, like
great.
the claim is that all these politicians just do not care about the worst effects of Trump's rhetoric and policy, and they're just like, "Yep, it's good for me." Like they're all just self-serving, narcissistic. Like there are politicians that exist like this, but the
Nice.
idea that the entirety or even the majority of the Democratic Party can look at all the damage being caused and just say, "Oh, well, it's good for us," like that's ridiculous.
So Keith, I would try a different approach. This would be my pushback or my I guess question to you is like, Hutch would tell you, and I think he'd have a fair point here, which is it seems that the elements of the anti-electoral left, and again, not to pick on Hassan, but since his name was invoked, Hassan would be an example of this, where actually the thing you ascribe to the establishment Democratic Party, perhaps it exists in some form from
Just kudos to Josiah here for saying Hassan's name.
Feckless moderates, but it also exists on the leftist fringe. People who, for example, like if you didn't endorse Kamala Harris to win in 2024, I would say by definition you preferred Trump to win and you were comfortable with Trump winning, right?
Or Josiah, take the mic from PA, who literally outright just says, I am happy Kamala Harris lost. It's not even like mask on. He's just like, yep, it's better for me that Trump won. That's like the kind of people we're dealing with.
Yeah, I believed it was all hands on deck for Kamala Harris. And I actually would have preferred that we had a primary, like one of the, I think they were trying to do like some sort of like mini primary. I would have liked that. I thought it was an awful look that the pro-democracy party didn't even have a primary.
No, they did have a primary. It wasn't a competitive primary.
No,
but
I mean,
reason was
no, it wasn't really a primary. Come on. Like, I think,
normal.
but I think really
That's
saying
normal.
that is actually just being so disingenuous. It's just being disingenuous. Like, sure, there was a primary, but there really was not a primary. And there were a lot of reasons why. But I think for Joe Biden to drop out in June, and then for Kamala Harris to be basically anointed.
Oh my God, he's using all anointed. He's using all the terms, dude.
Should we have ignored
I was excited it wasn't Joe Biden. I was happy like we were at least going to have someone that wasn't just like a walking corpse on stage.
Classic.
But I think that we would have all benefited from someone. And I think the reason why we lost is because we didn't have someone that.
I just pray that Joe Biden outlasts Donald Trump. That's the only thing. That is the only thing that would make me smile. They've taken my smile. But if that happens, I'll smile again.
Listen, that could speak to more of the issues of the party than just someone who just had so many
Keith,
problems.
I'll agree with you that I wish there was a more competitive process, but unfortunately at the moment, just like with Troy Jackson up in Maine, the primary, whether you like it or not, did occur. And so when I hear this, I'm like, what did you want to happen? Did you want them to throw out the primary that actually did occur, and illegally, by the way, in violation of the rules? To me, yeah, I would have preferred that every single one of the members or the delegates actually would have participated in a more competitive process, but it didn't work out that way, and that's to the shame of Joe Biden. But again, it doesn't mean that there's this nefarious intention to just like keep Trump around to like make money for consultants. I think that's a step too far.
No, I'm not alleging that.
Did the National DSA endorse anyone? Did the National DSA endorse anyone for president in 2024?
I have no idea. Do you know? Are you asking because you know?
I don't think they did.
How do you not know? He's lying.
Oh, I don't think they made any endorsement.
Yeah, well, again, Keith said that it was an all hands on deck thing, and I'm sure he would agree.
DSA, they were not hands on deck on that fight.
Listen, Keith, I'm sure Keith would agree that DSA
get that lady
yeah, Josiah, get him to say it was bad, and then move on.
Elected. Okay.
True.
I mean, I'm grateful, but I wish more people, especially groups like DSA, did more to help the second Trump term. That's been an absolute catastrophe. But
so, Keith, I'm curious what your position is on that, because that's been a source, I think, of tension in these like ongoing, online feuds or whatever. Again, the idea that the idea of vote blue no matter who, right? There's this tension now among leftists who are pleased with the results of primary elections, be it Abdul.
Did we just move on from it being all hands on deck, but the DSA not endorsing? We're just moving on, continuing. Yeah, that was bad. What do you want me to say? Continue.
Or Chevalier or Mamdani or whoever it is, like when he was running for New York City mayor, and the expectation was, okay, moderates, now you need to get behind the candidate, which I think is perfectly reasonable, because I am one of those morally superior vote blue no matter who kind of guys, because I'm consistent. I don't care if it's a fucking moderate candidate or a progressive candidate. I think that it is an all hands on deck situation when the alternative is a Republican. But to the frustration of a lot of people,
the problem is a lot of the DSA candidates aren't really Democrats, which I think Josiah agreed with earlier. Didn't he literally agree that Mamdani is a liberal? Or was it Hutch who agreed with that?
That has not been the calculus of the quote-unquote DSA left, or Hassan Piker, or many of the actual candidates themselves who did not endorse Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. What, as far as, you know, somebody who advocated for Kamala Harris, as you did, but is also a member of the DSA, how do you square that circle? Because there's a lot of bad blood in the coalition. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, well, now that your DSA candidate is the candidate, maybe we withhold our vote because you did it to Kamala, you did it to this person, you did it to that person. We're not going to have two different sets of rules.
Well, I would say this. I would say, like, two rights don't make a wrong.
Oh my god, just kill me. It's two wrongs don't make a right. First off, you absolute muppet. Second off, you don't just get to be a bastard and then hide behind Pepe Smug. Well, two wrongs don't make a right. Go yourself.
I would also say, or two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
And I would also say, Hassan Piker, I from what I understand, because I did a video on this, because I mean, it wasn't even the full idea of the video, but like, it was like an aside where I was like, I really wish that he would have just supported her in the general. And then I think he watched on a stream, and I think he said that he did support her. So
I'm pretty sure recently, and I could be wrong, so somebody will need to find me the clip, which I need to start saving this. Didn't he say that he didn't even vote for Kamala recently?
No, don't pull that, dude. Look at what he's doing right now with all his money and time, and tell me he didn't completely drop the ball in 2024.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's his responsibility or anyone's responsibility to be 100%
his fucking responsibility.
Oh my god. Let him finish his sentence because I want to clip farm him here, man. You should have shut the fuck up, both of you. You just mined a beautiful clip, and yet you couldn't shut the fuck up and let him finish it.
You have a base of millions of people, and it's an existential threat from the right, and you think it's not his responsibility?
Wait, we give Mehdi Hassan more flowers. We give Mehdi Hassan more credit. I know,
but I'm just saying, I think most progressives and leftists understood that it was like all hands on deck. And I think it's just like
the DSA did not endorse Kamala Harris.
Not helpful.
Most, but not all. I agree with Widow. I just want to say
most, but not all. All right.
I don't think. Let me give you what I believe. I believe that lefties did not cost Kamala the election. I don't think there's empirical data for that. But those who did sit out, those who did equivocate, those who did, I don't really know. That's look around us. We see the corruption.
If you know how much that sucks, why would you want to do that again?
I'm not.
That's why we're
grilling. That's why we're grilling Wick for considering voting for a MAGA Republican. But what we have a problem
also,
with
just I was pointing out, why the should the people, like, I get the spite-driven people, I think they're wrong, and I think you should still vote blue no matter who, but if you're going to have these people who did not hold these principles, who have already signaled that they won't do it in 2028, say, oh, you have to rally for our candidate, why the should they listen to you? I mean, I'm going to say they should, because I don't want MAGA to win, but I can understand a lot of people being spite-driven. It's like, why the should I listen to you? You didn't listen to me,
I mean,
right?
well, and to be clear, they're not talking about you, Wick, or Keith. They're not talking about you specifically. They're basically
because you were all hands on deck 2024.
Yeah, the point of the question was basically like, as somebody who used to work on campaigns and is now a political commentator and is also a member of the DSA, are you concerned about that tension, this feud between the two factions of the lib left coalition of the Democratic Party?
I'm just glad that it's happening now. I think it's good. I think this stuff is healthy. I don't think it's good. I don't think like Hutch, you've been a little snarky with me on Twitter, and I think like that's fine. And so is Destiny. Destiny is like calling me a white guy, like a rich white guy who's trying to be oppressed. Not true, but like,
which part? Because you are a rich white guy. I don't know if you're trying to be oppressed, because I haven't seen what you've said on Twitter.
But you are a rich white guy.
Like, I don't think
I've
that
been pretty
stuff-
tame with
I
you.
don't-
I've been pretty tame with you.
No, I
I'm
know,
just
I know,
saying,
but
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
think that stuff is particularly helpful. But I do think it's good that that these dynamics are unfolding in campaigns and online, and that we are able to have these internal battles to see the future of the party. I don't think it hurts. I think it's good. It's a net good that Haley Stevens is 100% behind Israel. She has $60 million of outside money help.
He doesn't think it's a net good, or he thinks
I think it hurts. I think it's good. It's a net good that Haley Stevens is 100% behind Israel. She has $60 million of outside money helping her out. And you have someone like Abdul, who is showing a different version of what the Democratic Party can be. And the Democrats in Michigan are going to decide who their candidate is. I don't think that's a bad outcome. But
she's pro two-state solution? Oh, true. Hold on. Two-state solution's the only correct. Not correct. It's the only actual workable answer if you don't want one side getting genocided, yeah? Rich white men finding a way back into the oppression discussion. Almost everyone is working class. If you work to make a living... Oh, this guy.
But I just think that there are going to be hurt feelings and people are going to wish that their candidate won. But it's then the job of the campaign of Abdul to do what he can to try to win over those voters and make sure that they feel like they have.
I'm so curious. I'm really curious if Palestine somehow got a nuke and nuked Israel, and let's say every Jew died in it, do you think that Hassan would call that a genocide? I'm so curious.
A part in his tent and in the campaign.
I'd say it was
so I just don't primaries are not bad.
Just a reminder, calling it a 10 is it should be called trenches. I'm absolutely correct.
I think
but
we've
we
actually
agree. We
suffered
all
because
agree
we
with that.
haven't had enough of them.
I don't know.
But
Yeah,
he's
everyone-
we all
already
agree.
poised. He's already poisoned the well with that by criticizing Gretchen Whitmer for endorsing his opponent, a popular governor. But Keith, I have to say, having a primary when you have an incumbent president
retarded.
who hasn't done a second term is not normal at all. Historically, you do not challenge the president who's running for re-election. You get behind it. And if Biden had hit a single in that debate and done just fine, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So for you to be upset about we didn't really have a primary, I feel like you're playing into MAGA's concern trolling about our democracy is not really being held up by Democrats. So how dare you challenge Trump with his saying the election's rigged? You guys rigged the election. I mean, I think we have to be careful with that.
I think we're just going to agree to disagree on that because I think it's fundamentally one of the worst. I think it's historically we'll look back and that's one of the worst decisions that our party ever made was not challenging Joe
But
Biden
it wasn't
to run again when
it wasn't like a decision.
and there's
it wasn't a
no one
decision from
here.
the top
There's
down.
no one
down.
here on this
Decision.
live stream or anyone watching that could have made the decision for him. But there are probably about 5 people who were very important, very well paid, that saw what was going on, saw how bad he was getting, and decided that it was worth their proximity to power and their ability to make money that he continue a campaign that he.
You mean like AOC and Bernie Sanders? Will you disavow AOC and Bernie Sanders right now? Yes or no?
They knew he could not win, versus letting go of that power, telling him the truth that it was not going to be able to happen.
There were a couple
and
such
letting
advisors.
an actual primary unfold.
There was a couple such advisors, but here's the problem I have to IRI's point. There's this narrative that there was a broader conspiracy among the Democratic elites, among the Democratic Party, even to be a party to that conversation and to do the actions that you're attributing to a couple of people more broadly. But that's just not true. And if you look at how the decision was made and how it's reported on, it was almost like there wasn't even an inflection point at all. There wasn't a decision point at all. And behind the scenes, many of the quote unquote elites were highly critical of this decision. And some of the people who were think about Pelosi coming out and being like, it's up to Biden to make his decision after Biden had already made his decision to stay in the race. They were just attacking him.
Dude, can you imagine if Biden decides to run in 2026? That would be the ultimate, or sorry, 2028. That would be the ultimate cinema.
Come on, corn pop. Let's get out. Come on, let's get out there.
Constantly to do the thing that you think was probably in the best interest of the country, which is for Biden to step down from the race. That's the Democratic elites.
I don't think it's really courageous in June of 2024 to say that Joe Biden should rethink his decision to run. I think it would have been brave in December of like 2022.
I mean,
asking a guy in a campaign to step down as the incumbent is going to be brave no matter what.
The presidential
You had to tell the
incumbent,
president to stop running in the middle of a campaign.
Yep.
This is like completely unprecedented.
It just doesn't happen. The reason why incumbents have such an advantage is because they're incumbents. And so we did have a primary. You can say that, like, I don't know what you're suggesting. Like the DNC should have gotten involved in what, like elevated who, like Marianne Williamson, like who, like nobody wanted to challenge Biden because he had enough support from primary voters to easily coast to.
Well, that's not
like a second.
But I guess if I'm remembering correctly, polling always said, even after the November midterms in 2022, that the Democratic Party wanted someone else, and that they thought Joe Biden was too old.
Not true. That's not well. They had concerns about his age, but he had the support.
I think that there was, he had the support, Hutch, but I think there was polling that Democrats would have preferred someone else and someone younger, etc.
So
at that time,
I could be wrong about that. That's
you and I weren't.
So you got no clue.
Like behind closed doors, but the people closest to him knew that he was starting to age rapidly, and that was just never disclosed to us. And I think that
is there any proof of this, or is this guy just talking out his ass? Where's any sources?
I just think that's true.
Well, I mean we all saw it with our own eyes,
in June 2024.
But we saw it with our own eyes. I don't know what they would disclose. Like Pelosi's going to hold a press conference and be like, guys, Joe Biden's lost.
I know, but yeah, they could have went on record and say, Joe Biden is losing his step, and I think he can serve out it. There are things you can do. It would probably have cost them their careers.
To validate Keith's position here, I'm using shout out to Rob Knorr. I'm using Claude here to find polls here, but there were multiple polls in 2022 with pluralities or majorities of Democratic voters saying that they wanted a different leader in 2024.
I take your word for it. But I mean, push comes to shove, though. Like the what counts is like the votes, and if people had an opportunity to step forward and
come on,
man. And run their own campaign.
Are you really saying the votes matter when it's Marianne Williamson, which, by the way, I don't hate.
Of course they matter. What do you mean?
Versus Joe Biden, like that's
yes, they matter. Yeah, they do. You hard.
Not a real primary.
Well, it
was a primary.
Like the DNC, who would they have elevated to challenge Biden?
Yeah. Nobody wanted to run against him. Too.
That's not
that. He doesn't elevate anyone. It's just that's I guess that's back to my point of there's a fundamental sickness in the Democratic Party where there is, and we're seeing it kind of play out in real time where they think primaries are offensive, that we're elevating
every
people.
single election with an incumbent has been run for the entirety of history, pretty much. It's a sickness. It's a sickness that has existed since the dawn of America.
I know.
Where's this talking
problem?
That
is. I mean, listen. We used to not even have primaries. I think this is good that we have these now, because it used to be that we didn't even have primaries, right? It used to be that truly party bosses picked the nominee. So it's good that we have this. But I just think that it's just, to me, a sign of something that could be better. That we really should feel that people should be able to challenge the leader of the Democratic Party. No one did.
And they lost really bad.
No one did.
Yes, they did.
Four people did actually. Right?
So Keith,
Palmer won the America Samoa primary.
Yeah, Dean. What was his name? Dean Withers.
Dean Phillips. Yeah. No, not Dean Withers. Dean Withers is a bit too young for
guys,
that.
we're coming up on 2 hours. Do we want to give our endorsement of Said or Stevens before the big election tomorrow? All right.
Said wants to expand. Said wants to expand the Supreme Court, so I am Said all the way.
I'll start.
Keith, are you? By the way, Keith, real quick, are you pro packing the court? Please tell me you're pro packing the court.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Pack it.
All right. I'm pro Said. Money out of politics. I want. He's pro Ukraine.
Pack the court.
He represents a more strong vision. I
say
think
pack
Stevens
the
does.
court. Soy. Say it.
And pack the court.
Thank you.
Hutch, your
what you
turn.
got?
Call me
have to endorse now.
Switzerland. Strategic neutrality. On this one.
Wow. Okay, Wick.
But you will endorse the nominee, correct?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Sick.
Well,
We got the
I'll
Stevens
say it
guy.
again. If El Sayed wins, I will not vote for him in November. So it's not going to do it. I hope other people vote for him though. But in all seriousness, I'm in California, so it doesn't matter. I'm joking. But I support Stevens. Based on the polls, she has a better chance against Mike Rogers. I
Fucking
don't agree with
base.
Keith that he's got more room. I think he's got
No, Keith
more
is
people to
retarded.
lose. In fact, I think a lot of those Stevens people are going to go over to Rogers, who could have been one, because he's being put on. There's a show being put on that he's too extreme, and he's associating himself with people like Hassan, who I think it's unnecessary
Who's a liberal?
blow to his own campaign to associate with that guy. And I think the polls show he's losing to Rogers, and I don't know how he's going to clean that up, because Gretchen Whitmer's not going to come out heavy hitting for him after he talks shit on her.
Keith, what about you, buddy? I think you're
I'm
next
gonna
in line.
let's stick it to him. Stick it to him. With
You're going for
Abdul.
Stevens?
with that.
No, he's retarded. Of course not.
And what about you?
I'll say for sure. I think whoever wins, I would plug my nose in support, just regardless. I think that's like the general consensus, right? Like anything but MAGA.
Sure.
Vote blue no matter who.
That's
Some
right.
people
Vote blue
on this
no
show
matter who.
hadn't been saying this, but I think everyone here agrees.
I do want to say though, Keith,
Hutch looks scared.
I think
think we have-
no, it's not you. It's not you. Sorry.
I think we have a bigger problem in the Democratic Party where we've turned it into a sport to shit on our own leaders and our own party.
Yep.
And it's like we think we're helping by criticizing,
We're not.
whereas we've got rock stars like Tallarico and John Ossoff, and some people may be unhappy with Chuck Schumer, but he's the reason why we have some of these people like Roy
Joe
Cooper,
Manchin.
Mary Patola. He's the reason why we were to achieve so much stuff under Biden with a 50-50 split Senate. And I know a lot of people say it's crumbs and all that, but I was making a point earlier. The Inflation Reduction Act and the American Rescue Plan, these got people the ability to afford their health care for 12 million people for 5 years through no help with the Republicans at all. So I want to encourage everybody to be more of a cheerleader for the Democrats. Highlight the positive, because when people out there hear the Republicans shit on the Democrats and then they hear the Democrats shit on the Democrats, it's like, why would I support the Democrats? These people suck.
And wait, to IRI's point, we should just clarify for Keith's benefit, because I don't know how familiar you are with IRI's content. He is equal opportunity. When he says Democrats, he also includes Zoran Mamdani. He is, he'll celebrate Mamdani's successes as well. He's not just talking about establishment Dems. So if progressive Democrats win their primary and then go on to win the general election and they contribute to the Democratic Party's success, he'll cheerlead them too. And I do agree. I think that in addition to criticizing the party, you also have to highlight its victories.
Wait, Pisco, you didn't say who you were endorsing.
I did. Oh, I did. But if you didn't hear me, I said El Sayed on issues related to structural reform, court expansion, and yeah, I think he's more likely to vote to do those things. So yeah, now that some polls are coming out showing, I think it's still equivocal, and it's
Dude, if El Sayed loses, it'll be so funny.
to El Sayed over Rogers. But that's the reason why I'm supporting El Sayed. And at this point, there's also polling indicating that I think El Sayed is the overwhelming prohibitive favorite to win the primary. And at this point, I think people just got to start dealing with the reality that we got to support this guy.
All right. Well, sorry we
think
couldn't go
there's
for
like
8. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Last thing that I've been meaning to get out. I think there's supposed to be a natural, and a lot of you will probably disagree with me because I'm, of course, further left than probably everyone here. I think there's supposed to be a natural ebb and flow of the party and the ideologies and the
Can we ask her if Hassan chalked his dog? I gotta know.
people and the members and all
I
that.
gotta know.
I think that there's right now this resistance to that slow progressive change over time, and I think this conversation will look very, very different once we have another Democrat back in office and also have the House and Senate.
I agree.
Hopefully,
And I
fingers
agree.
crossed.
It happened sooner than that. I think the midterms, if they go well, Democrats back in power with the gavels in the House doing investigations are going to show leadership. People are still sour from the Biden Kamala loss in 24, but they're about to see a whole new side of the Democrats. So I think it'll boost morale and change the conversation for sure.
Guys,
Wait, can I ask you-
I need to ask Guy. Sky, would you consider joining the DSA to alter it from within?
Subversive
Would you
element of
subvert the DSA?
Yes,
Would
I
you
have,
join
I have my
Keith?
kafia. I bought a kafia. I'm ready to go to my first DSA meeting.
You did not.
Liberal entryism. Let's go.
Wait, I have a question for Keith. Keith, in terms of the Democratic primary for president that's going to be shaping up, who do you have eyes on? Who's exciting you? Do you like Ossoff? Do you like
I really
AOC?
like
What do you
Ossoff. I like Ossoff, but I worked for him, so I feel like that's not fair.
Yeah, you're biased.
I forgot
You're
about
biased.
that. I forgot about that.
I would like to
The-
have
the
worked
Duke
for a
can sit on
president,
a mic.
please.
So Ossoff is actually standing off screen with a loaded gun, telling Keith to give that answer right now. Okay, your non-Ossoff selections, like who would be your roster?
Can we just pause? Yeah, I want to go there.
Honestly, I don't.
Wait, pause. I want to ask about the Ossoff stuff. Ossoff is a moderate. You would agree with that, Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
I
didn't
actually
even
think
have the
that's
balls to run against Biden in 2024 because
True.
he was part of the sickness.
true. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Josiah. My bad.
Okay, so other than Ossoff, because I think he's in all of our rosters, who else do you like and why? And Anne, I'm curious what your answers are too.
He's gonna
but
say
Keith, go
AOC.
ahead first if you don't mind.
I don't really. I mean, I don't like. I like Ro Khanna as an idea, but I'm not sure I want him to be a president.
God, I hate Rokana.
And I
does
really
that
like AOC.
Can you guys? There it is. Can you guys believe that Rokana just got the first time he's ever felt his color was in Israel. Those damn Jews, man. Sorry, those damn Israelis. Those damn Zionists. My mistake.
But I want her to run for Senate.
My
I
mistake.
want her to run against Chuck Schumer if
Agreed.
we can. Here's my hot take. That's going to sound smart, but I'm sure other people have said it. Is that I really think that whoever it's going to be is probably someone we're not even talking about. Like there's going to be so many, like so much is going to change after the midterms. It's going to be a reset. And I just think that I have to imagine that there's going to be someone, hopefully there's going to be 20 people who run. And like we have a double decker stage where like there's just rows of Democrats trying to be the nominee. I hope for that. And I'm just hoping there's gonna be like someone that we're just not considering right now that will rise up. But I just no one really excites me yet, but that's okay because we're not even near it yet.
What are your priorities, just out of curiosity too, about what they should do?
Bro, I want someone to be like lock them up. I want lock them up. I want someone that's gonna go after Trump. All this fucking can we swear? All of this
Yeah.
all of this fucking insider trading, the grifting. Like we have to
Hold
be a
on.
nation of rules and laws. We
Let
have
him
to
cook.
be. And so there has to be my ideal candidate is like we're going after all the crooks.
You should be fully in the tank for Newsom then, right?
What?
You should
I
be
mean,
fully in the
has
tank
he?
for
Said, I
Newsom,
don't
right?
think has he said that. I don't think he
Dude,
said lock him up. But I
no,
think
I think Newsom
also-
has
He
that.
wants to lock up Democrats. Oh, true. You're right. Very true.
Sure.
Awesome.
I think Newsom has for sure come out like pretty strongly about accountability and
I'm
that guy has
all
a-
I'm full Team Worm, man. We actually need a Democrat. We need a Dem to come in here and act like Leo Atreides II, the Worm Dune God, to pull us down so hard that we can like live out again.
about that.
he
I'm
has
all
a
about that.
visceral hatred of Republicans that goes back decades. That guy will be aggressive if he gets the nominee, which I don't hope that he does, but
So
All right.
And what about you?
True. We talked about this actually, Pisco, a while ago. I don't know if you remember this. You were on TikTok, and I hopped on your TikTok
Oh,
panel.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wait, that
I
was you.
mentioned.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. I mentioned.
No, I forgot about but I remembered it. Yeah.
Stop smiling.
I'm just chopped liver, but no, I mentioned then, and I'll reiterate this. I'm very Ossoff pilled. I think if I had to pick a viable candidate, I'm not opposed to Newsom. I think obviously in an ideal world, probably AOC. I'll reiterate, what Keith said there, but I'm still I want somebody who's like vehemently anti-ICE. Same kind of vibe that Keith is on, the lock 'em up kind, the like we're, you know, I need someone who's going to come in here and be like,
You're an accountability type then? An accountability Chad? So you want Newsom then?
look, these thugs are out in the street arresting your neighbors, causing havoc. Like we need somebody who has like the fighting rhetoric, like we got to cut this out.
Based.
What Andy Bashir sneaking in there with his like? Did you see his post about Rand Paul?
Yeah, I'm fine with Andy Bashir. I think Andy Bashir could be a really good pick. I've said that from the beginning. Somebody who can win as a governor of Kentucky? That's crazy.
Paul, like he's like Rand Paul,
Yes.
if he had balls, would be in Donald Trump's hands or something. Like you're just talking mad shit. I'm like, Andy, the Mr. Rogers of U.S. politics.
I know. I
taking
was
off the
not
fucking
expecting
gloves.
that. Yeah.
I like, yeah, because that's my big knock on Andy. I used to live in Kentucky, and I like Andy. I think he's a very competent.
Are we all Midwest guys? I feel like just the Midwest puts out the smartest people. Sorry, IRI. I know you're from Cali. Where's Hutch from?
Governor. He's very popular. He has a way about him, but I just don't think as a general proposition he has the ruthlessness necessary for the next Democratic candidate. And if we get another Joe Biden, I'd still maintain Biden was the best president of my lifetime.
He's
but
actually from Israel.
we need a departure from Biden when it comes to the whole, you know,
Very
we're just
nice.
moving forward. Oh, no. No,
Now
I
we're
want
talking.
at least the first and
So
second
Steve
term
lied
of
that he's going to be early the next few days, huh?
the next
He
Democratic
cucked me.
administration to be all about punishing corruption and structural reform. So
I mean, Biden's DOJ did indict Donald Trump in 2 different
True.
jurisdictions.
here we go.
Mer-
The fucking
Merrick
Merrick
Garland.
Garland fan
Neither.
club
We
right
fuck-
here. Fuck
Neither
Merrick
here nor
Garland.
there.
Yeah. Merrick Garland really.
Merrick Garland
Thank you
should
for
be
your
20.
service.
Merrick
Say it,
Garland
Keith.
2028 is what you're saying. That's what you want, Pisco. It's the
Listen,
world
I
that
don't think-
Pisco wants.
Let him retire, but I think he gets way too much. You should be giving shit to the Supreme Court for Trump versus United States. That horrible decision. By the way, folks, if we're plugging stuff near the end of the show, I have a 10-hour immunity debate starter pack.
Oh my god.
It's already uploaded. But I'm gonna make it go live tomorrow.
That's
And
crazy.
you can watch all those debates that I
no,
had
thank you.
about the immunity decision. All the SEAL Team 6 memes, they're all coming up. So yeah,
It's
the
been
debate starter
uploading
pack-
for 3
I'd rather
weeks.
kill
It's-
myself.
Yes. I'm in Japan right now, and so it was actually slow to upload that shit. But we're good. We're a go, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
All
So wait,
right.
why
well,
are you
for-
calling this early? Like, why don't we just hang out? Like, we got.
I gotta go.
You're an addict.
People always
I'm
yell at
fucking
me when we
addict.
go too long. I was being responsible, but hey,
Well,
guess
fuck
who's
you.
not in charge of the pod anymore, Josiah?
No,
You
I
gave
know,
up
I
those
know. I'm just saying.
privileges.
I'm here. Hutch, I want to read a text from you that I got from Hutch, literally as I was turning the lights on. Hutch, you. The text was this. The text was, "Get in here, we warmed a seat for you."
I don't remember.
At 7:30.
I don't remember typing that out.
Hutch, you're like his
you-
cocaine dealer. He's trying to quit, and you're like,
I am
"Man,
trying to
I just
quit."
left a little line of this on the table. Who knows who will slurp it up?"
I gotta go. Spirited debate. I appreciate
Hutch,
you two
what are you
coming
plugging?
on. Just a stream starting tomorrow at some point and ending at some point.
Normal Hutch streams. And what you got going on?
Ooh, not a lot at the moment.
Why
Just
is Soy Pill Hail Hitlering? Oh my god. Just kidding.
follow me, leftist blondie, everywhere.
All right, Keith, what you got going on? What you doing? You
Is
you have
she
a
even
sign.
blonde?
None of us have illuminated signs.
Oh
We
yeah,
gotta
I have a
get on
YouTube
there.
channel. I do a lot of breaking news slop. If you're interested in that, and I'm also on Twitter where I do a pretty good job beating up Republicans. So yeah,
All
or
right.
X.
X.
You calling Hutch a Republican?
X.
He also went through that fucking
Reddit bathroom brews.
Max Miller document
I
dump
went
and
through
video
that
dump.
Dropbox
Dude, that was
and found some
crazy
good
shit. Yeah.
All
you
right,
should check that
Guy,
out.
what's going on with you?
Not this week, but next week I have a Democrat on the front lines for one of these congressional districts that will determine control of the House coming on. I don't want to say who, but
It's Daria
a
Lisa,
big-
isn't it?
big name. No.
It's Daria
A
Lisa.
big name. Well, that
I
is a big
wish.
name. That's got a lot of syllables, Josiah.